You are listening to Radio Eastern FM 98.1.
With live and exclusive coverage of the EFNL football season, bringing you the match of the day with score updates from all divisions.
And now we cross to our commentary team for the Radio Eastern 98.1 Match of the Day coverage.
A very good afternoon and welcome to the Eastland Match of the Round. We've made the trip up the mountain to Belgrave South Recreation Reserve for a special day on the South Belgrave calendar as they celebrate their 80th anniversary as a club. The Saints welcome a Balwyn outfit for the first time to their home deck, with the wounded Tigers looking to regain some form, having dropped 2 of their past 3 games. You can catch all the action from today's game, plus the next hour of pre-game, right here on 98.1 Radio Eastern FM, and as always, streaming live around the globe on YouTube, on Facebook. I'm Josh Ward, and what a panel we have assembled for the pre-game. First up, a man who spent the past week gallivanting the streets of Warrnambool, but is back for today's Eastland Match of the Round out here at Belgrave South. It is none other than Matt Spider Lee. Welcome, Spider.
Afternoon, Josh. Afternoon, everyone listening and viewing. Yeah, had a great week down at the Bull. It was fantastic to get down there, spend the week down, and watch some great jumps racing and flat racing as well, and the great Grand Annual. Get up on the hill there, picturesque view, and then come up here this afternoon for another great view. So gone from one end of the state to the other in a matter of a couple of days. But no, really looking forward to what promises to be a really significant afternoon here between 2 interesting sides. And the man next to you, we're looking forward to getting his special comments throughout the day, doing a magnificent job on the Friday preview and special comments the past couple of weeks. It's Brett Davidson. Welcome to you as well, Davo.
Thanks, Josh. Yeah, really looking forward to it. And I spoke to Spider before this. I said, how'd you go down at the Bull? Did you have a win? He said, broke even, maybe a little bit under. He arrived in a limousine today. So let's just say that I don't think he's telling me 100% truth there.
Limousine responsibly.
Exactly. I know one footy club in the Eastern Football Netball League that a couple of guys will be very happy. Down towards Mulgrave, they got a bit of a nice victory in the middle part of the week with one of their horses. So well done to everyone connected to the Mulgrave Footy Club who were on the winning podium throughout the course of the week.
Well, speaking of footy, I am looking forward to this contest today. I think it's going to be, probably at the start of the year, if you'd sat down and said this is going to be the game of the round, you probably would have looked at it and thought, are South Belgrave going to playing that well? But it's now a situation where both sides, this is a must-win for both teams, I reckon.
Yeah, it is,
today.
Isn't it? Yeah.
So looking forward to it.
And a special day, of course, as we mentioned on South Belgrave. And we'll touch on that in a bit of depth throughout this program. And also joining us, it's good to have this man for the Eastland Match of the Round as well, after he jumped on the Friday preview. Jared Beanland. Welcome, Jared. I think it's your first time up the mountain to Belgrave South.
Thank you very much, Wardy. Good day to all the listeners as well. Indeed, it is my first time here at South Belgrave Reserve. Beautiful spot. I was looking forward all week to coming up here. I always love coming up to the Dandenongs, and for a spot of footy, makes it even better.
Unique view.
It is quite unique, I must admit, and since it's one of the smaller grounds in the AFNL, it makes for a pretty decent calling spot as well, I must admit. But it's much like, it's not quite as small as Sylvan, which we've been up to as well, and we always enjoy coming up to the Dandenongs or to the Yarra Valley region as well, the outskirts of Melbourne.
Just keep your eye out in the vanny, because Davo had to rescue a few people in the second quarter of the reserve game. The ball come flying through the window. That's
all I can say is my family's happy. We brought the caravan up, and I've told them this is their weekend away for the year. So yeah, they're pretty happy to be up here. Actually,
it does give off a country footy vibe as well out here at Belgrave South, I must admit. We get the same out at Sylvan and Coldstream, but especially the atmosphere around here, it's a big crowd is expected. We're hearing potential crowd in the thousands, people flying in from interstate today, since it is South Belgrave's 80th anniversary. And let's touch on that first off, because it is a significant day, and they have had a storied history, a brief history though, in the AFNL Spider since joining in 2008, started in Division 4. They've quickly risen through the ranks, particularly the last 7 years, where in 2019 they were playing in Division 3 and now they're playing Premier Division footy.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a great rise for this footy club. They've been one of those clubs, like, if you said that they were going to be in Premier in such a quick time, you'd probably go, really? But no, they've done all the work over a long period, and they're rewarded. And we saw that Lee Odermatt's around today. He actually gave his statue a bit of a polish on the way into the social rooms. But no, look, they've always been very competitive. They've made it a hard place to play for all the teams that have come out here. They've had some wonderful victories, and they've been really successful. So I think it's been the right move for their club coming across from the Outer East, and they've really stamped themselves as probably the leading team in the Outer East for where players want to come and play, and they've really put together a real good culture out here, and I think they're going to be hard to beat. But I think it's great when you can get back, Davo, to your footy club. 80 years, it's a very long time to celebrate, but you can reflect about what the club has done over a long period of time.
Oh, without a doubt. And I think one of the things is that they came in through 4th Division, and they've risen up to Premier. There's not a lot of clubs that have been able to do that. I think Roeville maybe came in and
Roeville did it.
Started, and but there's been a few others that I'm sure have done it. But South Belgrave, they progressively got through the ranks. I can still remember when they were in 4th Division. I think it could have been 3rd Division, and Tim Smith was playing for Ferntree Gully, I believe, or Upper Gully. He was playing in a final. They got recognised and went across to Melbourne from that.
Yep.
And he's come back to South Belgrave and become a stalwart, and they've built a team around him, around Odermatt. They've had a lot of very good players and a lot of great names come through here. The kids, and they've been fantastic in what they've been able to do, and their setup has just improved year after year.
Good coaching as well. Luke Galliot did a tremendous job, building the list, and he's been able to hand over in more recent times. But they've had good support cast around, building the off-field operations and the coaching setup.
Without a doubt. So it's going to be a great celebration. I can imagine. I'd say around about 4 o'clock. The word messy could be used, and I heard during before pre-match that one of our callers said the word vociferous, and a great word, because I've got a funny feeling that's what the crowd may be around about 4 o'clock, especially if it's getting a little bit close.
Yeah, and it's a nice and contained sort of area as well, so that vociferousness might amplify just given the cauldron-like nature of this ground, and it's going to be fantastic to see. I'm really looking forward to seeing what the South Belgrave faithful will give out there today, especially if it's a close, tight, and hard-fought game.
Yeah, they always all clubs get themselves up for these days. You guys saw it last year with Scoresby. Mulgrave didn't get over the line. Oakley District won quite comfortably on their 75th celebration, and of course Scoresby, that magnificent comeback on Centenary Day. It's going to be a massive factor.
Well, it can go one or two ways. I mean, you can override the emotion and you can play and you can use it, but then also you can play to it as well and really drum it up around with the fans as well. So I think they can go one or two ways, but for South Belgrave's sake, you hope that they put in a really competitive performance today and make the day memorable.
I think it's a little bit like a milestone game for a player. It does mean a lot, but once you cross the line and the ball's bounced, that situation is forgotten.
Yeah.
It's then the real celebration for the people outside of the ground. I think that's where it becomes really huge. Unless you've got a player maybe that has played the last 10, 12 years at the club, then they'll certainly be, feeling what it's like to have been part of the association over that period of time. But you might have young blokes out there playing their first season or second season, and celebrating 80 years is great, but does it make you pick up the ball harder or kick the ball better? It really doesn't. But what it does is it just brings the community together so very, very well, and that's going to be the exciting part of today, I think.
Yeah, and probably the entire town of South Belgrave will be coming down to this contest. So.
There won't be too many shops open this afternoon, so all one-way traffic leads to South Belgrave Recreation Reserve. Yeah, absolutely. One question I will ask all three of you. We touched on this, Ryan, Blake and I touched on this on Inside. Your favourite South Belgrave moment, because there has been, particularly over the last couple of years since joining the AFNL, Spider. That's
that wonderful moments in that grand final. Ironically, I think I've probably called a few more South Belgrave losses than wins over the years,
Yeah.
funnily enough. But I do remember one specific game at Walker Park. They have developed quite a rivalry with Mitcham, it seemed, through the years. And it was one specific game that was probably one of the most physical and loud games that I have ever been part of. I was on the boundary line with Besto that day, and it was just a fascinating clash of styles, for one, and also, just one of the most intense games of local footy that I've ever seen.
Yeah, I don't think I was at that game, but I remember watching it back, and it felt like an intense game. And obviously, they went on and played the grand final later that year, and boy, was that an intense encounter at Toolmore Reserve, which obviously Mitcham were able to get the job done. And I feel like I have called South Belgrave more than any other side. I'd say more than a particular Division 2 side, but that'd be a lie. The one moment I remember, though, there was this game for me, and obviously I mentioned on Inside, Liam Kidd winning back-to-back best and fairest, won 2021 in the shortened season, and 2019 when South Belgrave went on that tear in Division 3 and were undefeated. But I still remember the first time I called South Belgrave at an East Burwood game as well, actually, and there was this moment late in the contest where Tim Smith took a mark and kicked it really tucked up to the boundary, I think, to potentially draw the game closer. And South Belgrave obviously won that game.
Yeah, that was in wet conditions. They come from behind to win. Eastfield had that control of that game.
Yeah, they did. So it's certainly a lot of moments over the course of history over at South Belgrave, I should say. And there's obviously that Leo Barry mark. They've had some lows, and I still remember that. Yeah, there were a couple of losses we did see, including, and we called their semi-final against Beaconsfield a couple of years ago as well, Jared, where they fell just short after leading at three-quarter time, and they obviously, the last time we were out here actually was a loss to Montrose as well. So, but they've still had plenty of highs as well, I must admit, South Belgrave, and they have been led by great coaches. Christian Hyde has done a magnificent job with this side and brought back a style that Luke Galliard had when he was coach, whereas Heath, I don't feel like it changed it up a little bit. They bring in Christian, and obviously they go on to win a premiership in his first season at the helm. So, and they're set up to potentially stay in Premier Division if they survive this year as well, Davo.
Oh, definitely. I think, they've got some good kids coming through. I really like the fact they've had a good connection to Eastern Rangers. So they get a few kids through that area, and quite a few kids from this area are in the Rangers program at the moment, so that's good. Look, they're certainly, and with Heidi coaching them, look, he's a good operator. He's a really good operator, great speaker, thinks about his footy. He was a really good footballer in his day too when he was at Box Hill. I think he's been good. We talk about it, I'm pretty sure, did Appleby kick 100 goals for him in a year?
Possibly.
He had a lot. I'm
pretty sure he kicked 100. I could be wrong here. I reckon one year he kicked 115 goals, 21.
Wow.
I think he had one of those years where he just never missed. And when you think about highlights, it's a fair highlight to.
That's not bad.
To have, because I reckon I might have kicked 21 goals, 115 in my career. So he certainly, was a giant through those years where they were coming through third and second division. He was fantastic for him. Appleby as well.
Yeah, he was. But of course, hopefully we are joined by Christian Hyde. He is speaking at the current celebration at the moment. That's presentation that's taking place in the South Belgrave rooms at the moment. Brenton Sanderson will join us in a couple of moments' time from Balwyn. But let's touch on the Tigers for a little bit. They haven't been in the greatest form. 2 of their last 3 they've dropped. They have a lot of key outs at the moment. Spider, Lockie Young, Bowen Smith, their skipper, and a couple of players also out at the moment as well. Toby Lever and Stephen Slimming went out of their side last weekend. Jamie Ridd also out at the moment, and a couple of youngsters as well. So they're vulnerable, it must be said, this coming weekend. And but they still have some experienced and quality players in their lineup. Yeah,
they do. Look, I mean, they've still got quality across the ground, and you expect that they're going to be, very competitive and hard to beat here this afternoon. But they do have some vulnerabilities, and that vulnerability is all centred around the middle part of the ground where a guy like Bowen Smith has been so dominant. Yeah, we know Urban's a quality player and he'll be hard to stop in there this afternoon. look, their back six will certainly have a challenge on their hands. They've performed okay and they've got that defensive mindset, but it's still that, I suppose, that inability to be able to kick those big scores. Look, obviously, they're going to be challenged here today. They've got a bit of a target on their back, but they'll, the last few weeks it hasn't been all smooth sailing for them, but they'll definitely be looking to to get off to a really good start, which is really important today, Davo. Particularly playing away, you don't want to be chasing the game, and that's something that Balwyn have been doing over the last few weeks. It feels like they've been chasing the game like throughout periods. They haven't really been setting the platform at the start of games and really getting the game on their terms.
Oh, without a doubt. I think Tilly coming back for his first game for the season is going to be massive. They miss his. He's a bit of an X-factor player for them. In especially in final series, he bobs up and kicks those 2 or 3 goals, which are really crucial for them. So, they can't expect miracles from him for his first game back. Yeah. But he's certainly going to be important for their setup and their structure. Look, I think there's questions, and I think one of the things that hopefully when we get Brendan in here is to talk a little bit about the challenge of coaching when when this situation comes up, and what's his thought process, because it's not easy. Balwyn come to every game this year as the past premier. Yeah. So that's just a fact.
Well, it's a target on your back.
It's a fact. So they come in that. So teams will often do a little bit more work on you. Look at what you've got. How can we beat their situation? And I think that's where South Belgrave will think they've got a bit of an opportunity. They're not as potent through the middle, Balwyn, as what they have been, so that will be an issue. They've got some nice targets up forward.
Yeah, Miller and Boyd have been terrific for them in the first few weeks.
And that'll be an area that South Belgrave are going to have to work on. But then you go the other way, and South Belgrave missed the Garners, but they've still got Smith. They've still got some real positive players up there, their forward line. But I think Balwyn, it'll be an opportunity to see where they're at really now with a lot of their young guys today. Can they stand up in it is a bit of a cauldron here. It's a different shaped ground. I'm watching the way their twos play. What I like is that they've obviously done some work, and Balwyn have seen that you've got to play a certain way on this ground. They've adopted that methodology, which is quite good to see, because you just can't hold the football here and expect the forward line to open up, because it just closes up that quickly. You've got to be able to move the ball across the ground quickly and then open up one side of the ground really quickly to get that lead up. So it'll be interesting to see how they play out today.
And I think the inclusion of Josh Pollux will definitely help with that. He'll be able to marshal that sort of defence. He'll have that kind of strategy in mind while on field. He's obviously a very talented player, but also has that leadership capability as well. It would be great to have, slipped my mind now, but Pollux is definitely an important factor in that. I think it's on a big picture scale. It's going to be really interesting to see how these kids do perform for Balwyn, because they're going to be blooding their future essentially, and this is the time where they're sort of forced to do it. It's not ideal. It's not when they would have wanted to have to play some of these kids. However, this is that's footy, and at a certain point, this is an opportunity for Balwyn to be able to see what part of their future will look like.
This is where you learn. This is where you really find out what direction your club's heading in and whether the players have the capacity to play at the level. And a guy like McDermott, Davo's been playing some really good footy as well.
Yeah, certainly has. And if you look at the list we've got here, so Balwyn have only got they've only got 3 players on their list that have played 100 senior games of football.
Yeah.
Which only 3.
And I think their average is about 50, 60 games.
Something like that. And you look at it, they've got Pappas without 1, Carlin's 1, Stefanowski 2, Marshall 8, Edward Lamotte 4. That's a lot of inexperience. Isaac Barry's only played 10. And you look at the other side, and you've got Belgrave, South Belgrave have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players that have played over 100, but they've got a couple of them have played over 200. So they've got some real experience,
across the
South
board,
Belgrave, in their club.
And they have that sort of range of players that have played around that 50 to 80 mark as well, that sort of middle tier, which Balwyn, I think, just looking at the page there, that's also a bit of a hole.
Yep. So I think this is where, Brenton's got... I know if I was the coach, this is so exciting. I know you're sitting there going, well, hang on. They're, what are they, 1 and 3? Or are they 2 and 2?
I think they're 2 and 2.
2 and 2.
They're 2 and 2. And they've had one big loss or 2 big losses.
Yeah.
You're sitting there going, well, we're not bounding through the competition, but they're also in a situation where this could be the future. There could be 6 players in this group who are the future in years' time, or even at the end of this year. Blokes that are going to play 100 games for them.
Can you identify when you were coaching a similar pattern when you had to expose young players, bring them in, when you got your key senior players out, and then you go, well, this is the future, we need to have a look at it now? Without
a doubt. And when you see them, because they go in, people think, they're, first and second gamers are a bit overawed. Kids these days, not a lot of them get overawed. Yeah. They're a little bit more, well, I'm going to show you. This is why I'm here. I'm here to, to put my stamp on a game of football. Well, that's the sort of enthusiasm. And we've seen it through, have a look at the new boys that have come into North Ringwood this year. Yeah. The young kids that have played through there. We've looked at some of the games that we've already covered where the young guys have come through and been really super. And it's an exciting part of the competition. And it's a different, though, if you've got a blood 12, then it becomes different because you need that experience. But when you've got 4 or 5 and you can build through and give them 5 or 6 and they might go back for 2 and then come back for 4 or 5 again, or they stay the whole year, whatever it may be. It's an exciting program to have, and this is where I think the challenge for Balwyn will be, and I think hopefully Brendan's excited about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And just touching on some of those younger players, Elliot Carlin made his senior debut. He did have a pretty decent game, and Sam Pappas as well. Both have played Oakley Chargers footy. Pappas this year as well has played all games with the Chargers in 2026. And you look at guys like James Stefanovski, Josh Curtis, who have played senior football reserves, and we discussed before as well, bringing in the kids for a chance at the senior level. Sam Pappas on senior debut. Elliot Carlin made his senior debut last week. Josh Curtis, Flynn Marshall, some young players coming through. That must give us another sense of energy, particularly to the more experienced players in the group.
Yeah, and the other one which you guys will love today is Isaac Barry. So his dad's just outside the broadcast window here, the famous Leo Barry, who took that great mark in the grand final for the Sydney Swans. So Isaac's Balwyn Jr. He's had 3 serious shoulder surgeries in the last 4 years, and he did his ACL about this time last year. Actually, it was about him as well. So he's one that we've been tracking really closely, and like all of our boys and even myself, we haven't seen him play live. I've watched a lot of him on tape, and I really like him. He's only small. But yeah, dynamic forward. He's been playing behind the ball at Oakley, but yeah, I think he's going to be a really talented kid. And I don't know how long he'll play for Balwyn for. He's probably got bigger aspirations. But yeah, he gets to wear a Balwyn jumper today, and I think he'll play well.
Sando, good luck this afternoon. Let's workshop and explore the start of the season, and more in particular, the aftermath of what was the game against East Ringwood, because it was a game where we just went along not expecting that sort of performance, and how you managed to pick up the pieces after that game. It's well documented that you basically, that was a frustrating game. Bowen Smith goes down with injury, but throughout that game, go behind closed doors, the old lockout after the game to get the players in there. What was some of the key conversations that you had, because it was a performance that was just so uncharacteristic, and how did you try and identify to get the season back on track?
Yeah, it sort of came out of nowhere really, and it's maybe at the end of the season we'll look back and we'll say it was the wake-up call that we needed, but we certainly didn't want to lose that game by 100 points, and it could have been more. That was the reality, It probably could have been 150 points the way that they played, and just the energy levels that we brought were really disappointing. And yeah, there were some reasons why we weren't at our best, and potentially an excuse or two, but they are a really good side, and we got a bit of a wake-up call where we're at in the season. So we're going to have to come back, and we're going to have to, find a way to climb back up the ladder. And starts with South Belgrave today. But yeah, you're right. We had some truth, some honesty sessions post-game, and talked about some things that probably aren't up to standard, like our training standards, and regardless. And a lot of these boys who haven't played in any of the premierships yet just keep wanting to get an opportunity, and then when they've gotten it now, they've realised, oh gee, this is hard. This is like senior men's footy in this comp is as good as you'll get outside of the VFL, I reckon. So if young men have aspirations, and we saw, what's the kid's name playing for North Melbourne?
Cooper Trembar.
Yeah, Trembar. So he plays against us last year in round 1 and plays well, and then I think he's the favourite for the Rising Star this year. So this is the perfect perfect stepping stone to play VFL footy and then potentially AFL, and it can happen really quick. So these boys have got to understand there's high expectations. If you make the senior 22, their expectations are you play well, and we've been well below our best, and we're not coming and playing for Balwyn, and not just the playing part, but socialising with each other and sticking around and supporting the seniors. So
I'll handball it back to the guys in a sec, but I just wanted to ask about the buy-in with that. What surrounds it? Did you have to talk about buying in to the fact that now that you're here, guys, you're going to get the opportunity to play senior footy, you need to buy in?
Yeah, I think the boys don't really need to be told that. Like for the guys that choose Balwyn as a club to come to, or the guys that have come up through the juniors, like you come here because of the success. We're a club that's unbelievable in September. If we finish first, second, third, fourth, or fifth on the ladder, it's almost impossible to beat us in September. We just find a way to win, and that's a culture that's been built through generations and a legacy that sort of comes before us. So a lot of the boys out there in the twos today know that if I'm going to get a chance and play senior footy, that there's a chance I could play in a senior premiership for Balwyn. So the expectations are there, and they're fully aware of it. But you've got to pay the price too, and there's a process that goes along with that. You don't just automatically get a cup at the end of every year. There's a lot of hard work and a lot of sacrifice that has to go into that. And you mentioned about, and most of that's me. I mean, probably at least 50% of that is the attitude that I have, and like you said, driving standards both on and off the field. And I've just got to make sure that I'm there early. I'm building my relationships. We're training the boys hard, and they feel like they're getting really good, honest feedback about where they are in their footy journey. And I'll just keep doing that as best as I can, and hopefully it leads to a few more wins. And like I said, if we're there in September and we can find a way to make finals, then we are a different beast in September, and I think the league knows that, and the other teams know that. And not that we're just sort of going through the motions now. We want to be playing well every week, but we know that we're building, and hopefully that starts with a good win today.
I normally have about 25 questions that I've got to ask Sando, but I'm only going to give you one.
Yep.
Because I'm going to give you a little bit of background on some of the deep dive I've done over the last 4 weeks compared with last year. So I look at the fact that you've used 38 players this year already.
Yep.
Unbelievable. You've only won 5 quarters of footy.
Yep.
You haven't won a third quarter. You've had, I think it is, It's 0 times you've won the amount of shots on goal compared with the opposition. Last year, you only had 7 times in the whole year where an opposition team had more than 20
shots
at goal. So I sit down and I look at that, and there's always reasons, but then I looked at the tape and I went, your ability to transfer the ball from back 50 to forward 50 without some of your key mids being able to use the football through that area looks to me to be an issue with you going into your forward 50, because once you get it in there, you've got some real targets.
Yeah, we have. Boyd and Miller have been excellent, and they're going to be good players for us. But you're right, we've got to get that transition going a little bit better and look for opportunities to get the ball in our forward line more. A lot of that's been clearance. So obviously, if you take the skipper out, who's won the last 2 BNFs, and you take Kane Turner out, they're big holes to fill. Noah Lever hasn't been his best, and Alex Urban haven't been at their best, and we're playing some kids through there, who we're trying to expose them to this level of footy. We're really missing Jamie Ridd off half-back. He's that one that gives us that run and punch, and he's, and from the year before that, we're missing Louis Cunningham, and so hopefully we get Jamie Ridd back, in the next sort of, 6 to 8 weeks. Tillich in front of the ball. You know, I think he might have won our goal kicking last year. He hasn't played yet this season. It's his first game today, so hopefully that makes a bit of a difference ahead of the ball as well. There's some players we've got to try and get back into the team. I mentioned Isaac Barry. I think he'll really help today with a bit of that. But yeah, it's like I said, it's just sort of going to be I think a bit of a slow build, and a few of these boys out here today playing reserves will get their chance in the next few weeks for sure.
And finally, as a coach, it's exciting, isn't it? This is what the real challenge of coaching is when you're in this scenario and this situation of good players being out, bringing new players in, trying to get the synergy amongst the whole group.
Yep.
Is this what really excites you about coaching?
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, there's obviously days, because I work full time as well. There's days when I just think it'd be nice just to go home and put the feet up. But once you get to the club and you're around these sort of 50 young men, and we've got a really good group of volunteers who are really passionate about the club. Yeah, it just makes your heart beat a bit faster, and it's why people do it. And as I said, we've got some really passionate people at our club who love the place, and I'm the same. When I get to the club each Tuesday and Thursday night, and obviously these Saturdays, they're really great fun. I'll go home and collapse after this, but they're sort of big days. But I mean, we love footy. This is a beautiful little ground here today out at South Belgrave, and I know they're going to have a big crowd here today. There's already people in there, having a really good time. So hopefully it's a good game of footy, and you guys have a good call.
Sando, it's always a pleasure to speak footy with you, mate. Just one from me. Given that it's a new team that you're playing against yourselves, a new ground, and plenty of kids that haven't played with you before, how much weight is on the shoulders of your on-field leaders?
Yeah, huge. Yeah, and you're right. And a lot of them actually aren't out there, which makes it even more challenging. So a few boys have got to step up. And, I've been in footy now for over 30 years, maybe 35 years now. And sometimes young men just come into a system, whether it's AFL or VFL or community footy, and they're 19, 20 years old, and they just step up. And I could go through all the teams that I've been involved with, but there's opportunities today and for the rest of this year for a new group of boys that are desperate and hungry to play senior footy for Balwyn to step up and say, "No, I'm with you on this journey. Let's go get another one." So yeah, we'll see who those players are today and for the rest of the year.
Absolutely. Well, we better let you go, Sando, because you are a very busy man and you've been great with your time for the Eastland match of the round. Good luck for this contest out here at Belgrave South.
No worries. Thanks, boys. Have a good call.
Thank you, Brenton, for joining us in the pre-game. In the build-up to this Eastland match of the round, we're going to go to our first break ahead of this massive contest between South Belgrave and Balwyn. Thanks, mate.
Today at Eastland, Lucy's trying on jeans for a momentous occasion. Coffee with the ex. She needs jeans she can move in, because she's definitely moved on. Jeans that get a second look, but don't give any second chances. Jeans that say, "Why yes, I have spent the last 8 months in a post-breakup juice cleansing, kickboxing, personal training frenzy." And it looks as though she's just found the perfect pair.
Welcome back to Belgrave South Recreation Reserve for the Eastland match of the round. Josh Wood here alongside Matt Spider-Lee, Brett Davison and Jared Benlin in the build-up to this match-up. A special day for the South Belgrave Football Netball Club, their 80th anniversary as a club. They're going to be celebrating all their premierships dating back to 1968, which is well and truly before my time, and only one of my parents were born then as well. So, and all, of course, their most recent premierships in 2013, 2019, 2022, and 2025, which were all in the EFNL. Let's touch on the Saints nowadays, the present Saints. They have been competitive in some matches against Roval in what was a match of the round on Good Friday as well. They took it up to them for 3 quarters before they ran out of legs in the last quarter, and had some probably disappointing performances against Doncaster East and Berwick. Mind you, against Doncaster East, they didn't have a whole host of players. But this is a real opportunity for them today, Spider, with VFL players back into the side, Liam Kidd also back in. A great opportunity for them to get up and get the job done at home.
Yeah, it is. I mean, they've played some pretty good footy during the course of the season so far. Or there's been a couple of games where they've been inaccurate, they've been in games, they've taken their moments, and then there's some moments in there that haven't quite worked for them. But I think that if they come into this game with the self-belief that they can compete for the entire contest and have that attitude and play with that excitement which they have so far this season, and some of their experienced players can continue. I mean, a guy like Tucker has been in really good form. We know what Smith does. We know what Liam Kidd's capable of doing. and he's done it for such a long period of time. So they do have the makings of a really good team, and if they can get on top early and get the game on their terms, they'll make this game, and they'll make it very hard for them to be beaten.
Yeah, I think they've. Look, they're another team that's had to make a lot of changes. I think they made about 7 this week.
Yeah,
6 or 7, isn't it?
I think it's about 8 changes they've made.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a theme for them because they've had some guys injured and they've had VFL guys as well. So I think that's the challenge for them. But when they've come in, people have done their roles, and I think that's the thing about coaching again.
Yeah.
It's all about role play, coming in, fulfilling that role, and doing your best to your ability when doing that role as well.
So I think guys like Simonson coming back in, Muirhead coming back in, Morrison, a young guy from the reserves, is like a key back, I suppose, can play a little bit forward, coming in. I think Lloyd's come back in for his first game for a little while. Young kid Hollier coming in as well. So, they've got some youth, but they've also got some real experience coming. And with Kidd now, I think it's his 3rd game that he's played for the season. That's really going to help them. So, I think they've got a nice side in. They're going to miss both the Garners and Wind. They're 3 big outs. But, that's playing on their home ground is going to be important. Their 2s are winning extremely well at the moment.
Sharp kicking as well, it must be said.
And I think that's a real bonus as well, because they're going to walk out in the ground. They're going to have their 2s have been up and about with a very young team as well. So I just like the fact that South Belgrave, their first 10 minutes, it's not whether they win or lose the game in the first 10 minutes, but it can set a little bit of a tone. Are they competitive?
Pressure.
Is the pressure up? And then build that next 10 minutes. What does that look like? Can they hit the scoreboard? All those bits and pieces will be very interesting to see. And I'm excited to see exactly what they bring today.
And just touching on their under-19s as well, they drew with Balwyn. I think they did hold the lead by about 4 or 5 goals heading into the last quarter, but then they gave it up, and a kick after the siren from Balwyn actually got through, and the Tigers were able to secure 2 points. But they've picked up in their last 2 games, South Belgrave, 6 points at the under-19s level after they started off pretty slowly there. So that gives them a little bit of momentum, and it just adds a bit of potentially to the atmosphere as well, Jared, with how up and about those 19s, even though they didn't get the win, but they would be getting some points against a good Balwyn outfit in this reserves game as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can sometimes see sort of the difference that a reserves win can make. The reserves side will be up and about. And I know when you cross the white line, it sort of doesn't necessarily improve kicking or disposal or the minutiae of the game that goes into winning a game of football. But yeah, absolutely. There's going to be a great feeling around the club when the reserves stick around and everyone's here and up and about.
And just touching on some of their inclusion, Spider, Matt Hollier averaging around about 12 disposals at the BFL level with Williamstown. Didn't play the past couple of weekends with them, started the season off with them, so clearly rated very highly during the course of the pre-season at Williamstown.
Good prospect.
Bailey Lloyd, a young prospect, played in a young guns game against or either with the VFL or the Coates Talent League as well, and we know what Blake Simonson can do. They will add real quality to this South Belgrave lineup.
They will, and I think Simonson is the one for me. He just provides so much for this team, and we've seen him, during when he's come back at South Belgrave, have so much impact in games. He's just such a quality player and good ball user, and makes really good decisions. And I think that's the thing, isn't it, Dave? When those sort of guys can come back and really, take off from there and make those good decisions, bring the team with them, it makes the team play a lot better as well.
Oh, without a doubt, and especially going through midfield, back roles, wing roles. If you've got those players up and about, and they've got a few of them now who are up and about, that's the area that Balwyn have been probably not at their strength once that Bowen Smith came out of the side. So that's where it's going to be a crucial game of footy. I think you're through that midfield area.
Do you think
so
South
really
Belgrave want to make this a bit of a dogfight today? Do you think they want to make it a bit of a scrap, or do you think it's important for them to play with offence, play as much attacking as they can? Do you think Balwyn's going to probably be that side that's probably going to want to tie it down a bit at different times of the game. I mean, their transition when they do get a going ball, and they're as good as anyone, but there might be some times where they're happy to take a little bit of heat out of the game.
Well, I think that the sides that have taken them on transitionally, so East Ring would have been the number one, they've cut them up.
Yeah.
So they need to be able to stop that if they can. But it could be, I talked about quarters one, and I'll talk about it when we get Heidi in here, hopefully, to have a chat. They haven't won a first quarter yet, South Belgrave.
So they've been left in the barriers.
They need a good start. And even if it's just a solid start, they need it. And that's really important for them.
I think to answer that question for mine, Spider, in terms of which team wants to take on the game and try and use their disposal and versus who wants to make it a dogfight. I think for mine, given the fact that this is an unfamiliar territory for Balwyn, this is unfamiliar territory for Brenton Sanderson as well, as good as a coach as he is, I think South Belgrave are going to want to try and expose Balwyn's inexperience on this ground specifically, try and use the way they know the ground as much as possible. And to do that, it is about disposal. It is about where they're placing the ball, and it is about that sort of efficiency with kicking.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's going to be a really interesting part of this game. I mean, can they get on top early? Can they limit Balwyn's opportunities going when they do go forward? Because we know when they do go forward, their efficiency has been there, and they do hit the scoreboard. So that's going to be a big deciding factor in this game.
I think it will be absolutely crucial. And when you've got guys like Tim Smith, who can obviously roll into midfield, but multiple scoring options. I mean, Clay Tucker getting back the scoreboard. Zach Greaves also back in is a really
He's been really good, Zach Greaves, and I've seen him play at VFL level as well. He's a talent. He's someone that could go places. I think he's got that ability to potentially go to the next level.
Very much a live wire, and he kicked 3 goals in their victory against Noble Park and looked alongside Tim Smith the two most liveliest forwards on the ground. So that will be crucial for this South Belgrave outfit, who are going up against a pretty talented forward line, as we mentioned. And we saw Miller and Boyd on Good Friday. Boyd was big in ruck, and Miller was also big as a ruck and forward, kicking 2 or 3 goals, and is so far Balwyn's leading goal kicker. You add Jack Tillich into the mix, Davo. It's a very hard forward line to counteract.
Oh, without a doubt, and that's going to be the challenge for South Belgrave. I'm presuming I would think that someone like Morrison might have to be a tall down back.
Liu will go to one of them.
Yeah, Liu will go to one of them. So
which one? Which one do you think?
I reckon Miller.
Yeah, I think Miller's the one he's going to have to go to.
Well, he's the most damaging, isn't he, at the moment?
And Tyrese has got a nice leap on him. He's got a bit stronger over the last couple of years. He's been, he's come through the Rangers system, so he's got a little bit of strength to him now. So, it'd be a big challenge for both of those boys. Yeah,
it certainly will be. And Morrison coming into the senior lineup as well. It will be interesting to see who goes to potentially someone like a Jack Tillich. And who knows, that magnet could be swung given he was Balwyn's leading goal kicker last year. But I think the Liu-Miller matchup is quite fascinating. Liu and Miller as well, obviously, with that state league experience as well. And both Miller playing as a centre-half forward and Liu playing as that centre-half back as well will be quite fascinating as South Belgrave enter on to Belgrave South Recreation Reserve. We are going to go to an ad break shortly. So, Spider, you won't be joining us for this contest, but do you have a tip and a margin?
I'll be here at half time. So as well,
yes.
I'm tipping Balwyn. I think they'll get the job done, but I think South Belgrave are going to take it right up to them throughout the course of the afternoon. I'm only tipping Balwyn by around about the 10-point margin. I think they might have a bit of a challenge on their hands,
especially out here at Belgrave South Recreation Reserve. We'll save our tips for a little bit later, Jared and Davo, but we're looking forward to this game out here. When we return for the Eastland match of the round, the call team will assemble for this big contest, South Belgrave's 80th anniversary, as they take on Balwyn.
As Sarah opened her best friend Jackie's wedding invitation, she was overcome with a wave of emotion. While her 2 young boys wrestled on the floor, tears of happiness rolled down Sarah's cheeks as she saw the words she'd been longing to see. Please note, this wedding will be a child-free event. Well, Sarah, looks like we're off to Eastland for a new frock and some heels. And let's book in that babysitter. For all of life's little moments, there's Eastland. Eastland. Live real.
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time, or show time, to 4 minutes can save you an average of $200 a year on water and energy bills. Shower shorter. Save water. Authorised by the Victorian Government, 1 Treasury Place, Melbourne.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wantirna.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
The superpower I'd love for a day is to fly.
If I could have a superpower for a day, it would be to time travel so I could go back and see how life was when my parents were young and stuff like that.
Be mind reading. It's always good to know what other people are thinking.
At Tobin Brothers Funerals, their superpower is always providing compassionate care to families at their absolute time of need. Get to know the team at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Hi, I'm Ben Desson from Montrose Football Netball Club, and when I need a new kit for a night out, I head over to Eastland. But Eastland is more than a shopping centre. They support a range of community organisations and have been major partners of the Eastern Football Netball League since 2018. Thanks, Eastland.
You are listening to Radio Eastern FM 98.1.
With live and exclusive coverage of the EFNL football season, bringing you the match of the day with score updates from all divisions.
And now we cross to our commentary team for the Radio Eastern 98.1 Match of the Day coverage.
Welcome back to Belgrave South Recreation Reserve for the Eastland Match of the Round. South Belgrave's 80th anniversary, and we're out here to watch their clash against the Balwyn Football Club, who travel up the mountain for the first time in their club's history. And both sides are now out onto the park as well, and we're really looking forward to seeing how the Saints fare as well in their first game against the reigning premiers of the Premier Division. Umpires are onto the field as well, and we've got the call team assembled for this big contest out here. And in special comments, Davo, a great discussion as always in the pre-game, particularly on both these two sides, it must be said.
Yeah, it was really good, and it was great to hear Sando go through, some of the challenges that are occurring when you have such a change in your list over the 4 weeks and the bringing in of the young kids. I thought it was, it is fantastic to hear that he's got a player in his team this year that he's never seen live and have never trained with them. But he see tape of young Pappas, says that he's got some real upside to him, and he's really excited about the opportunity that he's been given. And as I said, Sando's really excited about the fact that he's got these young kids that he wants to come in and stand up and stamp their imprimatur on the game. And that's really exciting as well. So it's going to be a fantastic contest with sides that are probably both not at their best with their talent, but they've certainly got a lot to play for today.
Absolutely. And also joining us back after spending a week resting after doing a magnificent job last month to providing special comments at the Division 1 and Division 2 level. It's Sandra Gancharakin's assistant coach, or one of their coaches, Emily Mackay. Good to have you back, Emily.
Oh, thanks, Wardy. It's nice to be back. I'm really looking forward to seeing how this plays out. I didn't think I'd come back to South Belgrave, and now I'm here, so looking forward to it.
Bit of a different view. We're on the same side as the coach's box, unlike last time we were parked on the far side, right next to that shed where there's a fair few supporters out there, actually. So you're still close to the coaches, which must be pretty nice as well.
Yeah, it kind of thrown back some maybe not so great memories from the last couple of years. But yeah, it's nice to be on this side.
Absolutely. And joining me in the call list chair, it's good to be calling again alongside this man and media manager Ryan Long.
Thanks, Josh. Thanks for bringing us in. Great pre-game. Great to hear from Sando. And really exciting to be here for South Belgrave's 80th year anniversary celebrations. I've had a bit of a wander down there. If you're heading out to the grounds today, make sure to come down here because they've got quite the show. They've got the photos up in the wall. Celebrating quite a few premierships, 8 premierships that they are celebrating today. One's a 50-year anniversary, one's a 30-year anniversary. Great to see. I love the history of the footy club. So a big moment too when you consider South Belgrave, where they've come from, coming into the league in Division 4 back in 08 and already making their way to Premier Division. It's actually, they've done it in quite a quick time. I mean, to jump 5 divisions, we know how hard that is to do and not many sides can do it. And they've done it really well, and it's an exciting one for the club to be able to recognise that today.
Well, it was 7 years ago they were playing in Division 3 and going undefeated in the season. And back when it was Division 3, when you had the likes of Ringwood, Baronia, and all these different sides, they were probably middle of the table, it looked like, doing my research during the week, Davo. And now they've just quickly risen up with investment in junior clubs like Listerfield, their own junior club as well, and also bringing in some really talented players that's seen them play in the Premier Division this season.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that they've done extremely well is that they've had a number of really great kids that have gone on and gone through Rangers, for example, and a lot of those kids come back to the club. Like some have, don't get me wrong, some have gone out and tried in the VFL, and whether they've succeeded or not, it all depends, but they come back here and they stay with the club. So it's been a real good culture at the club that brings them back. And I'm really excited to see how they go today. Just watching their centre bounce set up, and you look at Clay Tucker, and he's a big unit, isn't he? He's got a reasonable reach on him as well, and he's going to be an important player today.
Probably their most key player with Balwyn out there proper ruck. You've got Jack Boyd and Jimmy Miller who can go into there, but obviously they lost Chevy Anderson in the off-season. Nikita Yanakadakis has been doing a little bit of rucking as well, and that's going to be a mouthful to pronounce all day, but that's an opportunity, an area South Belgrave can exploit, Emily.
Yeah, well, I was having a look at the ruck work of Balwyn from a couple of weeks back, and I'm very interested to see how they're going to be competing. I've seen Clay Tucker over the last couple of years and at Rangers as well, and he was probably the most contendable against Begsy when I was at North Ringwood. So how those ruck contests set out will dictate probably a lot of how the game's going to go.
Absolutely. We're going to go to our 2 boundary riders who are literally right next to us, so I don't think they need the headphones, actually. They're that close. Jared
Especially when you yell out, Josh.
Yeah. I think we could just talk and the effects mic will
exactly.
This guy walks up late and then reckons he can talk absolute rubbish.
That's rich coming from you, Blake. But what are ground conditions like, Jared and Blake? It's not the greatest day overhead, but still no rain at least for now.
Yeah, I'm slightly worried about these clouds that are rolling over, but hopefully we'll be able to hold out in terms of that. The ground's nice and spongy. It's a really good neck. I think it'll be pretty easy surface to play on today. Not really much breeze, as you can probably see if you're watching on the YouTube and Facebook streams. The trees aren't really moving at all. Very still day. It's going to get cold at some point, I think, but the players won't be worried about that. I think the contest is going to be hot enough for them.
And both teams are moving into position. You're tipping the margin as well, Blake and Jared.
So just a quick one. South Belgrave won the toss, and they'll be going to the left of your screen. I think last time I said that, and it was completely wrong. So there you go. So South Belgrave kicking to the left, and then Balwyn going to the scoreboard end. So there you go. You can have a look at my record tip. I tipped Balwyn for this one. I think they'll win in a close one yet again, which is classy for a Balwyn side.
I've got Balwyn I've got South Belgrave by 15 for this one.
Don't mind that call, Jared. Emily, you're tipping a margin as well?
South Belly by 23.
Davo?
Balwyn after the siren by 3.
I'll throw it to you, Ryan. Who's your tip as well?
I was going to change my tip, but I've tipped Balwyn in the record, so I'm going to keep it that way. I think Balwyn by 2 goals.
Same as me. I'm sticking with Balwyn. I'll say 9 points the margin as both teams move into position, as Blake mentioned. South Belgrave kicking to the left of your radio dial, Balwyn to the right. Umpire holds the ball aloft, and we are underway in the Eastland match of the round. Ryan Long.
We're ready to go. Tap down one by Tucker. Had a good start to the season, but it's Balwyn with the quick clearance inside 50 towards the boundary. There's Jack Tillig back, and he's missed to the right, but involved straight away back into the side this weekend. Coming back from injury.
I wonder if he's found his premiership medal, boys.
You can go and ask him that today. So
might be waiting a while for the ball here, actually.
That net doesn't look particularly high. It just went straight over it, and it could at some point roll down the mountain.
It isn't. We've been watching the reserves in 19 today, Josh, and quite a few times it's gone over and got stuck in the tree. So we'll keep an eye on that today as Liam Kidd to take the kick in here for the Saints. Great to see him back at South Belgrave this season. Long kick out of defence, and it's intercept mark here by the Tigers, who are going to move this on quickly inside 50 in the direction of Oaks. Slip through hands. Kidd picked up nicely. High kick towards the wing. Standing underneath this one again is McDermott. This time to take the intercept mark for Balwyn. The Tigers coming off a big loss to Vermont last week. A surprise as this kick towards the half-forward line. Picked up by the Saints. Getting through traffic there, McIntyre. Out towards the wing. Small kick forward from Windsor. And out of bounds it goes. So a minute and a half into this first quarter. Great to have you on Radio East and 98.1 FM and our Facebook and YouTube streams.
And we do apologise as well. There might have been a bit of internet difficulties as well for those tuning into this Eastland match of the rounders. Yannick Adarkas goes up against Tucker. The latter wanted down. Lever of the Noel variety, the only lever playing today. Got the handball to Schreiber, to Urban. His handball found Liam McDermott, and they work this out to Obi Chambers, who goes a dangerous kick in the middle, still worked out. Lever inside forward 50. Boyd, the deepest target, went up against Morrison, who got a handball away, and the Saints will look to clear through Hollier. Hollier's handball was a dangerous one to Simonson, ducked it and weaved his way out of trouble. Tried to get a handball back to DeRayo. He'll get this ball back, Will Simonson. But they turn it over to the Saints, and Urban goes deeper inside forward 50, where it is all South Belgrave, and out the back is Kai Windsor, who goes the short kick, and the handball gets it back there from Sam Muirhead, and another short kick as well. He'll get this ball back. Get very involved in this chain is the former KC Demon. Got it to Hollier, who's off to the races. Inside 50, intercept mark taken by Ben Silvani. Sporting his dad's number 1 in the Balwyn colours as he goes back. Short kick found its intended target, and Stefanovski's all alone at the right half-back flank for Balwyn. Looks to go inboard with a dangerous kick. Still paid off to Schreiber. Schreiber handballed it off immediately to Lever. Lever to Irvin. Back to Lever. Couldn't take clean possession. Urban does. Got the kick inside 50. Boyd! At times sloppy from Balwyn, but it is Jack Boyd who can go back and kick the first goal of this Eastland match of the round. Some good ball movement in the end, Davo, that ends in the hands of the big man.
You can see already that Balwyn's one thing they want to do, they want to come through the middle, which is unusual because this is not a ground that you usually come through the middle, especially early. You've got to go around the outside, then come through, because it's just such an easy turnover situation here.
65 senior goals today, this one drifting to the left.
I've been watching a bit of Balwyn's games, and I was wondering how they were going to adapt to such a small ground. They usually play out the back as well, so there's not a lot of room to do that. So it'll be... I'm curious to see how the next 4 quarters or the sustainability of the way they're moving the ball is going to look like.
So 2 behinds on the board for the Tigers as Liam Kidd to take the kick in again for South Belgrave. 4 minutes into this first term. Kidd will go back towards the far side once again, looking for Smith. Came through hands. It's mopped up here by the Tigers. There's another inside 50 and another mark. And they're going to have a set shot on goal and a big opportunity here.
So they've gone to their big targets very, very early on, haven't they?
They have.
Balwyn, and look, this is something that South Belgrave have really got to be switched on to making sure that they can nullify them.
So Jimmy Miller been one of the big recruits for the Tigers coming into the side this season. He's kicked towards goal. This one is to the right this time, and it's a 3rd behind for Balwyn. 3 behind, South Belgrave yet to score.
And we've played just over 4.5 minutes. Liam Kidd getting plenty of possessions early on from kick-in duties. course, a two-time league best and fairest at the Division 3 and Division 2 level, goes short to DeRayo. Has a broadcast side still in his defensive 50. Lateral kick to the defensive goal scorer and Kidd. He's got McIntyre all by himself. And so is Jack Morrison, which he goes to Morrison, searches for McIntyre, nearly taken high by Tillich, still dances his way out of trouble, goes centre wing broadcast side where Silvani's up against Smith. Smith tries to apply the pressure and does. The handball over the top is a good one to Simonson, dashing towards goal! And the Saints have the first of this Eastland match of the round. 1 straight 6 South Belgrave. Balwyn 3 behinds at the 5.5 minute mark of the first quarter. Jared Beanland, boundary side.
Yeah, just having a look at a few matchups down in the Balwyn forward line at the moment. Muirhead, he's picking up Miller. Tyrese Liu has gone to Boyd. Matthew Evans is playing on Tilligan. I've noticed Liam Kidd as well, dropping back to pick up Nathan Oakes.
Certainly fascinating, that matchup, and a Kidd playing a defensive role as well, which is not something we see every day, right?
Yeah, and great to see, obviously, coming back into the side this week from VFL duties, Simonson hitting the scoreboard early. Going to be super important today if the Saints are to win. Tap out one by Tucker once again. We'll get a ball up in the middle. Very different Balwyn side from the last time we saw them back on Good Friday. A lot of changes to this lineup. Haven't been hit with the injuries like this for quite some time. As Schreiber through the middle, trying to get something going here for the Tigers. Handball forward towards centre half forward. Oakes was there, picked off here by the Saints. Now DeRayo off to Kidd. Kidd towards us on the broadcast side, standing in front. That's a great mark and playing on straight away now. Greaves towards the top of the square. There's a free kick. It's going the way of the Tigers. That will be Pollock's holding free kick.
Is that Tyrese Liu I'm seeing as a deep forward as well? Quite fascinating as Balwyn nearly turn it over. Applying the pressure there is Nick Kiley, and he's going to get a holding the ball free kick. It's quite an interesting move, Liu, playing inside forward 50 for South Belgrave.
Yeah, without a doubt. I think they're looking at him as another target, maybe to release Smith a little bit. But actually, Balwyn have made a couple of crucial errors in their defensive half recently. The last 5 minutes.
As Keeley goes short to Kai Windsor, who of course has played VFL footy with the Casey Demons over the last couple of seasons. I'm not too sure if he's related to Caleb Windsor. Of course,
I don't know, but did he come?
Yeah, he is. We're getting the nod of approval from Blake.
Okay,
Yes, he is.
Did he come through the Rangers program with you?
He wasn't in my age group.
As Windsor comes in and nails that shot. He's only kicked the 28 senior goals today, but that's goal number 29, and South Belgrave are out early by 9 points. 2 straight 12 to Balwyn, 3 behinds.
So we've got Windsor, Greaves and Tucker that were in probably 2 years above.
Yep. So that's been, I think, 3 turnover mistakes that Balwyn have made and have been hurt each time. So it's important that when they do get it forward, they're going to have to hit the scoreboard, because 3 points from 2 set shots is not a good way to start.
For the Saints, a bit of confidence early. 2 straight 12 to 3 behinds. 8 minutes into this first quarter. Tap down this time, won by Ball, and they've given away another free kick. Going the way of the Saints through Mazzone. Inside 50. Tucker just over his head. Might still work out. Lou got the handball over the top. Picked off by McDermott. Back to Silvani. Dancing along the goal line. They get this out through Schreiber, and they've done this nicely. Lamont finds a target in Lever. So Noah Lever, possession of the footy on towards the far side of the ground, picked up again. And now they go towards the half-forward line. The mark is taken by Boyd. Boyd still just too far out the score, puts it up in the direction of Jordovic all by himself, who'll mark the ball 10 metres out and can put through the Tigers first.
Well, that's the way you've got to play this ground. They played it beautifully then around that. Normally they'd come in on that kick, they'd come inside, but he saw the deep entry and hit it well. So, yeah.
And Jordovic converts. He gets his first back in the side this week as the Tigers move to 1-3-9 to South Belgrave. 2 straight 12. We've played 9.5 minutes on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Both teams are playing quite a condensed game, so most of the players are set up in the middle of the ground and the forward 50s on both ends are quite free. So a lot of the scoring opportunities are actually coming from that ball kicking over the top after it's been gone around the wing.
Transition game has been strong from both sides, it must be said, particularly that piece of passage of play from Balwyn, who finally get their first goal on the board. 9.5 minutes played here in the first quarter of the Eastland match of the round. Thanks for tuning in on 98.1 Radio Eastern and streaming across the globe on YouTube and Facebook as Yana Kadakis goes up against Clay Tucker. As Tucker, who took it out of ruck, got boots of ball, turned it over though, and Apostolou might get a high free kick. He'll be going to Balwyn either way. There he is, Ryan Apostolou. Still young into his senior career, only senior game number 15. Dances past one, got the kick in the boy direction. Evans flew, couldn't complete the grab. Urban's there on the ground. He might get this ball back from Stefanovski. He does, but he's locked up immediately by Jack Morrison, and we'll have a ball up right half forward flank for the Tigers. We'll have prime view of this stoppage as Miller goes up in ruck now and won that tap down. Urban's there, ducked his head against Hollier. The umpire decides to call for a ball up.
Almost looks as if Balwyn think that they're going to be losing each contest.
Yeah.
They're set up defensively in a defensive triangle every contest.
Won by the Saints there through Tucker. Smart's ball forward towards us. Windsor again, just getting through. Crosses the line. So 11 minutes into this first term, it's 2 straight 12 South Belgrave, 139 Balwyn. Saints celebrating 80 years of history. The boundary throw in, won by Tucker again. Been important early, wrapped up in the tackle that time was Julian. We'll get a ball up right in front of us, broadcast side. Came off the head of Boyd that time. Bowen Smith, Urban should I say. Cop one high, lever. I'd like to have Bowen Smith out there as Tillich takes the mark right in front of the media van. A long way out from home, puts it towards the top of the square. Out the back is Oakes, balled across the line by South Belgrave for a minor score, moving Balwyn to 1-4-10. South Belgrave 2 straight 12, coming up to the 12th minute mark of the first term.
This kid looks across Belgrave South and elects to go to the far side where Tyrese Liu is up against Ben Silvani. The latter got the spoil down to Apostolou. Handball over the top was a dangerous one to Marshall. Spilt out to Elliot Carlin and turned it over to Braden Ryan. High up and under ball should be marked by the Balwyn man, and it is Joshua Curtis on Balwyn's senior debut. Spent the last couple of years playing reserves footy with the Tigers. But he's in for his senior debut with the Tigers inside 50. No mark taken by the South Belgrave man in Evans. He might get this ball. It's Ryan who does. Handballed it off to Mazzone. Chucks it on the boot and might have kicked it out of bounds on the full. No, it stays in play. And the South Belgrave faithful, let Ben Silvani know about that one as well. After he elected not to mark the former Carlton listed man, and we'll have a boundary throw in right in front of a decent contingent of South Belgrave supporters as well.
Yeah, certainly right. I'm sure it'll fill up across the afternoon. Conditions okay after a wet weekend in Melbourne. Tucker again, his kick really going nowhere towards the boundary line. Kept in with smart little tap there by Windsor. And now it goes out of bounds. So once again, same result. Boundary thrown on the far side. 70 out from the Balwyn goals.
I can't find Schreiber out there, and he's been crucial with them in that first 10-15 minutes. He might be having a rest on the bench, but he really needs to be on ball.
Now, free kick in the ruck, this time going the way of the Tigers, Jimmy Miller. There's Miller. Looks to send this towards the half-forward line. Oakes with the one hand almost was held there. The tackle applied and rewarded for the Tigers. And Sam Pappas will be in range to have a set shot and kick his first for Balwyn.
I reckon this is his first kick as well, Pappas.
It could be, yeah. He was part of one of the a bit of work through the middle a moment ago, but I don't know whether he actually got a touch. So, this is what you want young kids to do. Take their opportunity, first kick, first goal. So here we go.
So he'll be kicking from just outside the arc. It's not a big arc out here at South Belgrave. Kick's not bad. It's going to fall to the left. So just another minor score. They've now kicked 1 goal 5, Balwyn. 1-5-11 to South Belgrave, 2 straight 12, 14 and a half minutes gone first term.
Kid cries for the ball to come to the broadcast side, which it somewhat does. The mark taken by Tim McIntyre.
I'll go back again. Yep.
And it wasn't the greatest kick. Still mopped up by Evans. Got the handball to Kidd under immense pressure. That might be Caleb Jordovic, it is. Right in front of the scoreboard, which reads 2 straight 12. Balwyn 1-5-11. Jared on the boundary.
Past couple of times I've noticed Balwyn, as they move it inside 50, they've set up for the switch, but it's not been honoured, so it's leaving them with an out number in their forward line.
Tucker tried to win the tap down to DeRayo. He got a handball away to Hollier. Kick will be cut off by Oaks, who can't keep it in play.
Just adding on to Jared's work there, now that the dust has settled, it usually takes about 10 to 15 minutes. It's really more so just a setup for Balwyn in general, just, adjusting to the length of the ground essentially, and now they're actually starting to play a little bit more composed.
Ball in inside. We'll call it a 45 arc out here at Belgrave South, and that might be generous as there's a free kick to the Tigers.
I was not going to ask how many metres you reckon it is.
I'm not going to try to decipher this angle as well. Not after a fortnight ago, and it is Jack Boyd, who's been lively inside forward 50 for Balwyn and has been a prominent figure this year. Jack Boyd, it must be said.
Yeah, he's certainly been one of their big targets and played pretty good footy right through. So, but they need this one.
Does have VFL experience as well. The former old Zaverian outside the arc comes in, leaves the boot well, and it's through. Boyd with his first, and the Tigers have their second. 2-5-17 they move to. South Belgrave 2 straight 12, 16 minutes gone first term.
Well, if you're going to look at the technical way of kicking, he goes against everything. He's got the big round movement of his arms as he comes in. But it doesn't matter at the end of the day, does it? As long as it hits the boot straight, and it's a great goal. And they did need it because they'd had 6 shots at goal.
Yeah.
And hadn't really taken advantage of what they've been able to have.
So Tigers now in front, 2-5-17 to 2 straight 12. We're back in the middle again. This time one out by the Saints. Kick towards us on the broadcast side. Sprawled across the line there from Isaac Barry.
Balwyn very much looking to shark Clay Tucker's ruck taps. They're not even really looking at their own ruckman at the moment.
It will be interesting. He has given away a couple of free kicks too in the ruck, as Clay Tucker. This time that is quite a short boundary throw-in, so it's one here by the Tigers. Lever off to McDermott, stolen away inside 50 from Simonson. Mark not quite taken by Greaves as it bounces across the line. But inside 50 for South Belgrave will get a boundary throw-in.
Greaves currently listed at Sandy Zebs in the VFL at the moment.
So,
how's he been
It's a new
looking?
signing for this year. I haven't had too much to do with the Zebs. I only go to a few training sessions, so I'm not going to make any comment.
So Miller out of the ruck, back to McDermott, just a kick in hope, but it worked out okay. It fell through the hands of Tillich though. Back inside 50, this time through Tucker. Can they get a mark in front position with Simonson? But it was Miller who plucked it. Who's had some good moments early in this contest, Jimmy Miller. Kick towards us again. It's back to the opposing ruckman in Tucker. Who's had plenty of the footy himself. Here's a short option. Decides to take it. Matt Evans.
Just a very congested forward 50 for Belgrave at the moment.
Slipped through the hands of Braden Ryan. Did well enough to control it. Back to Tucker. He'll get it back again, does Ryan. Got the handball tucked away in the boundary line. Julian was wrapped up in the tackle. Plenty of Tiger numbers around this ball as they're happy to see it across the line. So 18.5 minutes gone first term. 2-5 plays 2 straight. Balwyn leading.
50 metres out from South Belgrave's goal on this broadcast side. It's Tucker and Miller. What a fascinating ruck duel that is. They lock horns as Miller won the backwards tap in the end. There's a holding free kick going to Balwyn. And it might be going to their skipper today in Alex Urban. Of course, stepping up in the absence of Bowen Smith, who had a good start to the season on Good Friday, but hasn't played since their loss to East Ringwood. Goes to this broadcast side. Curtis with the grab. On centre wing, he's got Isaac Barry screaming for it short. Ignores that option. Instead goes long inside forward 50. Evans parked underneath this, couldn't complete the grab. There is Muirhead, got a handball out to Mazzone. Mazzone's kick will be marked by Clay Tucker. Handballs it immediately under pressure though. There was Griffith Julian, got it Back to his teammate who went to Simonson, who's been lively this game. Inside 50 in the Smith direction, couldn't complete the grab. He's there on the ground after beating Silvani to the ball. He's now up against 3 Balwyn opponents, one of those being Silvani, who's happy to see that over. Although it's nearly kept in play by Flynn Marshall, it isn't. Some quick play there from the Tigers, from the Saints I should say.
I don't think I've ever seen a Smith drop a mark as easy as that one.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's a rare occurrence.
So this ball tossed back into play. Schreiber looks like he's back on. It's Garner of the Damien variety winning the tap down. Trying to spin his way out of trouble was Lloyd. Got a handball out. Breaking a tackle is McIntyre and going for goal! And that's an early contender for the Tobin Brothers goal of the day from Ben McIntyre. And the Saints hit the front again. 3 straight 18 to Balwyn 2-5-17. We're into time on. 20 and a half minutes gone.
Yeah, great work from the young kid then to get the hands out.
With the way that both teams are structured, it looks like both teams have a traditional full forward, and then it's going to be a mix of goal scorers coming out from really rushed passages and play like that. So I'm really keen for the next couple of quarters to see how many goal kickers we're getting from both teams.
And it's a if you're a centre half forward in this ground, you hate it because the ball's going over your head the whole time unless you're able to push up a little bit.
Yeah, there's no true centre half.
No.
So back in the middle it goes again. Julian on the bottom of this one, wrapped up in the tackle. Umpire says give it to me, get another ball up.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the setup. So there's no particular tall player actually playing centre half forward for either team. They just want to have those sort of shorter half forwards pushing up and creating a contest.
Tap down one by the Tigers, spinning out of that one Chambers, couldn't control it. Now a chance for Grant. He got his handball off in time. This time Damien Garner wrapped up in the tackle and caught for holding the ball. So a win here for the Tigers. Trailing this game by a point. So Isaac Barry inside 50, all Saints there. Tucker took the grab, almost stole it from his teammate.
It's Boyd being double teamed at the moment already, almost 3 players really.
And the 25-metre penalty follows here for Tucker. And chooses to go wide. Uncontested mark taken that time by Jack Myers. They go backwards once again. Muirhead. 22 minutes gone first term. Interesting quarter so far. As they look just to maintain possession of the footy without making any ground. They take now the inbound kick. It's danger run turned over. Pappas takes the mark here for the Tigers. Doesn't move it on quickly. He was waiting for something to come ahead. He puts it in the direction of Tillig. Got a hand to it. All Saints numbers come in. Chance there for Stepanovski. Wrapped up by 2 Saints.
And that's a classic example of, I don't think this one was actually super intentional, but they're going to have to kick the ball over the whole contest to be able to get the ball to a forward.
Miller with the big fly. Tapped it down to Jack Morrison, though, who's tackled by Miller. And a couple of words spoken
when
there
he
as well.
got the ball, he didn't even look sideways. He only looked down the ground.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it was a 1 out of 3 outnumber.
Tucker wanted down to Urban, though, who turned it over to McIntyre. Might be forced to rush it through. It's Oaks who taps it over the line, and we're all locked up. All in 2-6-18. South Belgrave 3 straight 12, and we've played 23 and a quarter minutes in the first quarter of the Eastland match of the round. Matty Evans now on kicking duties. Of course, crossing over from South Belgrave to Roval, playing a bit of a different role with the Saints, having played predominantly forward ruck with the Hawks, as his kick is a turnover to Obi Chambers. Left half forward flank, he has it for Balwyn. As he goes inside forward 50 with a darting ball to Tillig. Looks to play on immediately with an empty goal square. And he gets it through. Tillig has his first, and the Tigers hit the front once again. 3-6-24 to South Belgrave. 3 straight 18. 24 minutes gone first quarter.
And there's your X factor that we talk about with Tillig. That's exactly what he does. You know, his first game for the year, he comes up. He's been dangerous in every situation, and yeah, that's a great goal. Great goal, and one they needed.
Yeah, he certainly would have been eager to get out here today and get one on the board early, and he does, which moves the margin back to 6 points in favour of Balwyn now. Back in the middle we go again. Urban taken to ground. Did he drag it back in? No, we get a ball up. Right in the middle of the ground. Bit of push and shove there with Griffith Julian. So up it goes again. Tucker once again wins another tap out. Free kick here going the way of the Saints, holding free kick. So Kelvin DeRayo.
A lot of free kicks from clearance at the moment.
There's been a few as DeRayo finds his target. Oh. Murhead, a 25-metre penalty. Was it maybe a little bit unlucky there for Balwyn? But this will put him in range, Sam Murhead. And can tie the scores once again. 25 minutes gone in this first term.
And on a ground this size, 25 really does hurt.
It does. And it's going to play a factor today. Already a couple called, so you know the umpire's going to certainly be willing to call it inside 50. The kick's good off the boot. Sam Muirhead, the quick response for South Belgrave. 4 straight, 24 to Balwyn, 3-6-24. Great first term.
And I think that might be his first goal with South Belgrave as well. Played predominantly defence over the years, so a fair effort out. I say out here, but it's, as mentioned, quite small arcs, it must be said.
Got to go back to a couple of weeks ago. Josh Shaggy from Donny East kicking 12 on this ground. Don't think anyone's going to kick 12 today, but...
No.
Good chat.
Very good chat. As Irvin got the handball away to his teammate there in the Postlewood.
Where's the belief?
We never know.
Yannickadakis won that tap down to Apostolou. Wrapped up, didn't get a clean handball away, but umpire didn't see, and the ball continues to be in the congestion right in front of us. DeRayo was there, Urban as well. Kick was smothered by Smith, deflected to Simonson, under immense pressure, and Winslow happy to see it out of bounds. And you can hear all the players' efforts in the effects, Mike, and we're going to have a boundary throw, and once again going to have a great view of this stoppage. Looks like Tim Smith is going to go up in ruck against Yannickadakis. Boundary umpire throws this ball back into play. Yannickadakis won it down. Shark by Julian, who had it stolen away from him.
But we'll have a great opportunity to win some contests here now that Tucker's come off for probably the last couple of minutes now.
This ball up. Yannickadakis again, the tap down to Apostolou. Inside 50, Kidd couldn't take the mark. Tapped it to Hollier in the end, who runs onto it after kicking it to the far side of Belgrave South. Still in his defensive 50, cleared it for now. Lloyd nearly took the grab. On the ground there is his teammate who just decides to go along in the Lou direction. He picks it up out the back, got a handball option over the top in Greaves. Bounced it in favour of him, he still might have run onto it. Liu was also there, kicked it back to Simonson. The snap is good. Scrappy at times, but nevertheless it's 6 points, and South Belgrave, they hit the front, 5 straight 30 to Balwyn, 36-24 at the 27.5-minute mark.
You can watch him trailing the ball in here, Simonson, and he does a great job. He doesn't get sucked deep into the contest, stays out. A clever goal. Good forward craft.
And great efforts there as well from Tyrese Liu to keep that in play and give that opportunity to someone like Simonson, who now has 2, Ryan.
Yeah, great start for him. Back in the side this week from VFL. Already paying off. 5 straight 30. Balwyn 3-6-24. Is there one more left in the quarter? 28 minutes gone. South Belgrave looked to get the quick clearance. The handball was cut off. That time by Barry. He's quick hands through the middle of the ground. Apostolou turned over. Now for the Saints. Run down in the tackle. Bailey Lord was caught. And it gives a chance here for the Tigers. They can be quick with this footy. Towards the half-forward line. Great lead. Slipped through the hands of Boyd. Mopped up here by the Saints. Big tackle applied. The handball straight across the line. Get a boundary throw in. About 55 out from the Balwyn goals. Late into this first term. So we're back into play here this time. Tap one by the Saints through Evans. DeRayo, his handball cut off. Tigers with a quick inside 50. Miller takes the mark. And he's already got an opportunity to put his first on the board and to level the scores.
Struggling with the big 2 key forwards, aren't they, at the moment, South Belgrave?
Maybe they do need to swing someone like Tyrese Lee back. As good as he is down forward, he's probably more valuable down defensively.
Miller going to be key this afternoon for the Tigers. Tries to ease that one back, and he can't. It stays left.
You know what I reckon? Put Tim Smith on him. Tim Smith plays forward. He plays in the midfield. He plays in the ruck, apparently. Put him in the back line.
So 3-7-25 Balwyn now to 5 straight 30.
Kick to the right back pocket for South Belgrave. Hollier telling his players, I'm going long, I'm going down the line. And it's just the ladder to Tim Smith, who's right in front of the scoreboard. We've nearly ticked over 30 minutes of play in this first quarter of the Eastland match of the round. An entertaining contest out here at Belgrave South. Garner couldn't complete the grab. Out the back there was Evans. Chucked on the boot by Wise. Back into the lineup this week. Hollier couldn't complete the grab. Tapped to Stefanovski in the middle of Belgrave South. Heads to the right half forward flank, where he's got a teammate all by himself. A mark taken there by Pappas inside 50. The boy couldn't complete the grab. It was almost a chest mark in the end. Still got the handball off. The flying shot from Carlin won't be paid. It didn't go through anyways. Quarter time sounds out here at Belgrave South Recreation Reserve. It is South Belgrave 5 straight 30 to Balwyn 3-7-25. The major goal kicker on the ground is Blake Simonson with 2. We're going to go to our first break of the Eastland, or another break of the Eastland match of the round. And when we return, we'll have one of the coaches.
As Sarah opened her best friend Jackie's wedding invitation, she was overcome with a wave of emotion. While her 2 young boys wrestled on the floor, tears of happiness rolled down Sarah's cheeks as she saw the words she'd been longing to see. Please note, this wedding will be a child-free event. Well, Sarah, looks like we're off to Eastland for a new frock and some heels. Let's book in that babysitter. For all of life's little moments, there's Eastland. Eastland. Live real.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League. You'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs, and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
The one thing that puts a smile on my face is my kids.
The sun shining through the clouds even in winter absolutely puts the biggest smile on my face.
Seeing delicious food on the table ready for me when I get home.
One thing that always puts a smile on my face is seeing my family.
The thing that puts a smile on my face every time is really good music.
Just the simple pleasures in life.
Be remembered for the greatest moments in your life. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time, or show time, to 4 minutes can save you an average of $200 a year on water and energy bills. Shower shorter. Save water. Authorised by the Victorian Government, 1 Treasury Place, Melbourne.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. You'll generally experience shorter wait times. Knox Private 24/7 Emergency, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
You are listening to Radio Eastern FM 98.1.
With live and exclusive coverage of the EFNL football season, bringing you the match of the day with score updates from all divisions.
And now we cross to our commentary team for the Radio Eastern 98.1 Match of the Day coverage.
Well, welcome back to Belgrave South Recreation Reserve. Quarter time here between the Saints and the Tigers, and the Saints lead 5 straight 30. Very accurate compared to an inaccurate Balwyn 3-7-25. And we're ready to hear from one of the coaches in just a moment, Sando and Christian Height, down at ground level. Before we get to that, I think we've got some scores, Josh, around the grounds. What's happening in Premier Division, sticking with Premier today?
Yes, so at Seabeck Oval, it's just started out there, and it's Roval 117 leading Blackburn, 2 behind. Doncaster East out early against South Croydon, 6-4-40 to South Croydon, 3-2-20. Very competitive so far against East Ringwood. The Wickers, 3-4-22 to East Ringwood, 4-2-26. And no update, I don't believe, from Noble Park, Vermont as well. So some close contest, a bit of sharpshooting as well.
Yeah, that's certainly right. In terms of the contest, Davo and Emily, your thoughts on that first term? Balwyn missed quite a few set shots in the end and probably unlucky to not be in front at quarter time, but entertaining contest nonetheless.
Oh, yes, certainly. And that's the first quarter of the year that South Belgrave have won. So that's always a good sign when you're sitting down and making your little targets that you've got. Win the first quarter, and they've done that. I think it was a game of Balwyn's tall forwards against South Belgrave's ground players. I think the up forward, I think that's the way it looked. And points to South Belgrave, but Balwyn have certainly got those targets, and they've got to close them down because they're not going to kick as poorly as that each time.
Well, Balwyn have some really great forward targets that they can capitalise on. As we were saying in the first quarter, there's 2 ways that you're going to score a goal on this ground. The one is to play that traditional 4-forward role, which they've got 2 targets there, and that's in Boyd and Miller, or it's going to be that scrimmage out of the contest. So unlucky to probably be missing 7 of them, but it should be a good competition. It's South Belgrave, if it's their highest or their first quarter that they've won all season. I mean, they've been playing teams above them for the start of the program anyway. So Balwyn was their second side that they're playing against that is somewhat actually at the same level that they're at currently.
Certainly right, as we might be getting Christian Hyde for a quarter time address. Blake Tennant was down at the Balwyn huddle, and we'll get his message shortly. But I think you're right, and the transition of both sides has been good. Scrappy at times as we do go down to Jared Beanland, who's with Christian Hyde.
Thanks, Josh. I've got the South Belgrave senior coach, mate. A lot to be happy from that quarter, but a little bit to improve, perhaps.
Yeah, they're a good side, aren't they, Balwyn? So if we miss kick it, or if we miss handball it, or we stuff it up, they'll kick a goal. So we know that will happen. So hopefully we're a bit cleaner and we execute a little bit better, and we keep the ball in our hands, not their hands.
Any positional changes for this quarter?
Nah, mate, we're happy with what we're looking at. So, we just get it done in the contest and hopefully get a few opportunities to get a winning score, mate.
Beauty. Thanks for the chat.
Thanks there to Jared and Christian Hyde for joining us, but always good to hear from the South Belgrave coach. Blake, you were at Brenton Sanderson's quarter time address.
Yes, I was, and he wasn't too happy about it, but he wasn't happy with how the tackling pressure was. He was saying that they're not the too many players getting off them really quickly. You've got to tackle with the bodies, and that's something that he did. And he said they've had a lot of entries, just haven't been rewarded. So they want to try, and they've also located Simpson as well, which is another key plan. They've definitely going to put some work on him.
It'll be interesting to see how he fares then, Blake Simpson, because as we've seen, he's been prominent so far this contest as teams are now into position out here at Belgrave South Recreation Reserve for the start of the second quarter of action out here between the Saints and the Tigers. Is South Belgrave kicking to the right of your broadcast, Balwyn to the left as umpire holds the ball off. It's going to be Tucker against Yannick in this first ruck contest.
So 5 points in it here at quarter time. We're back underway, chasing this one first. DeRayo got the handball off in time. Schreiber with the pressure here for the Tigers. Lever back to Urban. Urban bouncing kick inside 50. Punch from the South Belgrave defender in front. Back towards the middle of the ground. Urban ends up with it off the left boot inside 50 to Boyd. Held it for long enough to take the mark. And then go back for his second of the day if he kicks truly.
Again, that dangerous kick forward, and it's going. Lou, I think, has to go back.
He does.
He has to go back at this stage.
The Jack Boyd, who's had a little bit of it so far in this game. His kick, this time much better. It's his second. And the Tigers moved to 4-7-31, back in front over South Belgrave 5 straight 30.
Could you almost throw a swap Lou for Matt Evans in that defensive and forward 50, Davo?
You could do that, yeah. I don't mind that, although Morrison's another one that could maybe go in the He can go in the ruck as well if you want to put Tucker down forward as another tall option if you want.
Ball thrown back up. Tucker won that tap down. Urban read it best, though. Nearly intercepted by Barangrad. It's Yannick who just tries to keep it in front of him. Turned it over, though. Pounced on it alongside Urban, who's locked up by Barangrad.
So Balwyn, again, having those two defensive players in the ruck contest is allowing them to win a lot more of those contests, even though Tucker's winning the actual ruck.
Again, won that tap down to Schreiber. Tackle applied there by Griffith Julian. Box Hill Hawks listed. Former Waffle player as well, I believe. Julian is reading that one best is Liam McDermott. Handballed it to Lamont. Lamont in the Jack Boyd direction. The spoil came in from Evans. Ryan was there. There's a push free kick paid to Braden Ryan. And he'll look to clear his defensive 50, conceding the first couple of inside 50s to Balwyn South Belgrave, as that kick's not the greatest. Doreo still made something of it. Goes short. Wasn't the greatest kick, but still found his intended target in Lloyd. Lloyd's handball over the top, tried to find Windsor, who just slapped it forward. Intercepted by Lamont. Went inboard to Schreiber. Schreiber against Lever, who's locked up, as is Nathan Noakes. Still dug a handball out. So did Lever, but this ball's not going anywhere.
I'll tell you what, young Lamont has been involved in 3 contests in the last couple of minutes. He looks classy.
He certainly does. Get a ball up once again, one down by Tucker. The clearance for the Tigers through Schreiber. Came off hands. This one will end up in the hands of Kidd. Quick handball, turned over. Now inside 50 through Chambers. Chambers kick into a bit of space. Tracking that well was Miller. Got 2 to beat, got it off to Jordovic. Jordovic towards goals. Puts through a beauty for the Tigers. And Jordovic's got 2 and Balwyn have got 2 for the quarter. 5-7-37 Balwyn to South Belgrave 5 straight 30. Great finish there from the youngster.
Another call of the day contender?
Yeah,
yes,
definitely.
I think so.
And if we listen to what the coach said at quarter time, Christian Hyde, he said, we've got to stop giving the ball back to Balwyn because we're getting hurt on our little turnovers. And classic example there with the handball turnover and a kick a goal. They've just got to have a little bit more ball security at the moment, South Belgrave.
So we're ready to go again in the middle of Belgrave South. Both rucks go at it, and it's Tucker yet another hit out. Doreo tried to kick off the deck. Instead, it's the Tigers who get the handball to Schreiber. Schreiber's handball was dangerous, but rewarded by Lever, who is going to be pinged for holding the ball. The tackle applied there from Bailey Lloyd. Is it 25? No, it isn't. Umpire was just calling for the ball to be given back by Lloyd, and it is 25 now. So the Frankston VFL listed man will be marched to the edge of the cricket pitch, about 50 metres out, you'd say, from the ball from the South Belgrave goals.
What angle do you reckon, Wardy?
It's directly in front. Lloyd goes for broke. Liu, one of the deepest target. He's out the back and gets it through. Tyrese Liu with his first, and South Belgrave reduced their deficit once again to 1 behind. 6 straight, 36 to Balwyn, 5-7-37, 5 minutes played here.
We've probably got to keep him down the forward line now, don't we? and not move him back after that. But that was another one of those classic cases where the ball's gone over the back of the contest again. So, smart use and crucial. Can't give away these 25.
Yep.
Can't give them away, especially in that area.
Yeah,
This ground's about 3 kicks, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
It's played a factor in 2 South Belgrave goals so far. Schreiber in the middle. It's one out here by the Saints. Campbell from McIntyre will receive it again inside 50. And the mark, was it taken? Not quite. Simonson didn't quite get it on the full, even though he thought he might have. But they're inside 50 again, the Saints. Trailing this game by Smith now in the ruck. It was tapped that time by the Tigers. Kidd inside 50. A high kick, a hard one to mark. Came off hands. Dangerous position here for the Tigers in defence. And Keeley was going nowhere.
So I think Sanderson will be happy with the tackling pressure in their defence in the last couple of minutes. Been really solid.
Certainly has. One down again by the Tigers, the tap. Still not out of trouble just yet. Urban this time with the tackle. Been involved quite a bit, as you would expect. Certainly a bit more pressure on him without the skipper and Balwyn Smith out there in the middle. Smith went up. There he is again, Urban. Didn't quite grab it this time. Picked up here for the Saints. Handballed back from Keeley. Chasing that one again, McIntyre. The pressure's been good from the Tigers, so we're 55 out from the South Belgrave goal. 6 straight, 36 to 5, 7:37. 6 minutes gone in the second term.
Tucker and Yannickadakis go up again. It's the former with the tap down. Apostolou read it best. McIntyre couldn't get Boot to ball. Smith applies the pressure there on Noah Lever. Not going anywhere though.
This has been a great 5 minutes from Balwyn. They've really put good tackling pressure and ball pressure.
Not allowing any opportunity on goal for the Saints. As Smith on that tap down, the handball out searched for Grant, who applies the tackle. Ball nearly dragged back in.
A lot of that's coming from the second sweeper that Balwyn have in the contest. So South are tapping towards South Belgrave side.
Yannickadakis won that down. The handball back tried to find DeRayo, but it didn't reach him. Carlin under pressure and gives away a throw free kick to DeRayo. The ex-Vermont man will look inside forward 50. He's got a short option on, but it's intercepted by Flinny Marshall. Only in senior game number 9. As he goes with a short option. Pappas.
Impressive Pappas.
Yeah.
He has. The Oakley Charger on senior debut. Sanderson spoke very highly of him in the pre-game as he goes to Apostolou. Apostolou to Elliot Carlin about 50 metres out from the big sticks. Heads in the Schreiber direction. It might fall short of him. It does. And it's out of bounds for a boundary throw-in at the right forward pocket for the Tigers, who have an opportunity to add their 6th on the board. The 8.5 minute mark of this second term as boundary umpire readies himself to throw this ball back into play. Miller going up in ruck now for Balwyn against Tucker. Read it best, won it down. There's DeRayo, kept it in play, got the handball to McIntyre. Back to DeRayo. Inboard he goes to Simonson. Bursting away and handballs into the middle of Belgrave South Recreation Reserve where Hollier took a bounce. Goes for goal. What a piece of play this would be, but it's just missed to the left. And the first blemish of the day for South Belgrave means it's all square out here at 37 apiece.
Yes, we are, as Pollux takes the quick kick in, and they're going to move this along towards us broadcast side. Braden Ryan's underneath this to South Belgrave. Takes the mark. We'll send them quickly back into attack. The leading target is going to win himself a free kick. That's Nick Keeley. And he'll be kicking from just on the arc, so about 45 metres out. He's directly in front. Decides to pass it off. Got an open man inside 50. Not much of a difference, which is a tougher angle, but Kai Winsor. He's kicked towards goal, almost out the back. Simonson's there again for 3. He hits the post.
I don't understand why he played on then. He didn't need to play on the young fella. He go back, take your opportunity.
So 6-2-38 to 5-7-37. South Belgrave now leading.
Barry with the kick into Pollux. Goes along to the broadcast side wing. Yannickadakis nearly took a good grab. It's South Belgrave, the numbers on the ground. And they get the handball out to Myers. Kept it in play, but the smother was affected there by the ball. And man, it might be Apostolou, who's had a good game in midfield, Apostolou.
Tell you what, that bit of play was that close. I thought Emily had actually spoiled it then. I thought that you put your hands through and spoiled it.
I didn't even move my hands.
We were nearly in play there as well as Yannickadakis won it down. DeRayo, though, goes inside forward 50. Lou out the back. Smith could get a handball away to Lou, who goes for goal and gets his second.
Is the key to kick the ball down the line, or is it to play quick and do short, sharp kicks?
Isn't it interesting because they've kicked 2 goals from their play on with their hands.
Oh, here we go. This is going to be 2 goals in a minute. Free kick here towards the Saints, and this was after the play. I missed what that was for, but that looks like it's going to be Simonson who's going to have the set shot right after the South Belgrave goal. And this is super costly here for Balwyn.
12-point play.
Yeah. So he's already got 2, Simonson. This is a gimme. He kicks his 3rd, and that is very costly for the Tigers. Simonson
All I can say is that we are close enough to the bench. Hopefully we can't hear too much because I reckon there'd be steam coming out of Sanderson's.
He looks calm.
Does he?
He's been frantically moving the magnets for a little bit here ever since that first goal went through. I think he's just sort of trying to ignore.
That is Sando, though, isn't it? Calm.
Did you see what happened, Jared?
I didn't actually. I was watching the bench at that point just to see who was on it, but no, it looked like a sling tackle a sling tackle without the ball from what the umpire said.
Ball tossed back up. Tucker won it down. DeRayo couldn't run onto it after pressure from Miller. DeRayo will look to clear the congestion. And a immense pressure from Apostolou.
Do you reckon that's just killed any kind of not momentum, just morale for Balwyn?
It does hurt a bit, doesn't it, when that happens?
Ball thrown back up. Miller down to Urban. Got it back from Urban. Sold the candy. Got boot to ball. Touched off the boot. It's out the back for Jordovic, who got a handball away, but it's intercepted by Matty Evans. Got it to DeRayo. DeRayo goes long inside forward 50 in the Tim Smith direction. And he took the strong grab in front of Josh Pollux. And in an instant, South Belgrave could have three consecutive goals and hit the front.
Tell you what, look, in all the competitions you'd want to have a look at, this bloke is one of the best contested marks you'd ever want to see. He's so strong overhead, and he has been for a number of years.
Even going up against a guy like Josh Pollux on a VFL list, and he's still able to take the strong grab. 11 goals this season, 10 in South Belgrave's last 2 games. This for goal number 1 of the afternoon for the South Belgrave skipper. And they move to a 19-point lead, 9-2-56 South Belgrave, the ball in 5-7-37, taking advantage of their opportunities, Jared Beanland.
And on that point of morale, Emily, this is where the on-field leadership needs to really step up for Balwyn. And we spoke to Brenton Sanderson before the game and how threadbare it is a little bit for the Tigers in this game specifically with all the changes that they've had to make. So we're looking for a Alex Urban or a Josh Pollux to really put the team on the back for the next 5 minutes.
And just quick one before we go. Just want to mention, I think Balwyn are now going one-on-one by the looks of it. If you have a look at the back 6 here.
Miller with the tap down, Lever involved off the ground from Miller inside 50 here for the Tigers. Ball comes back out. Tilly, did he get his hands off in time? It does. Still alive. Pappas off the right boot. The quick response hits the post. So that margin 5-8-38 Balwyn, 9-2-56 South Belgrave. And they're going to quickly kick this one back into play. Free kick here going the way of the Saints. We'll come back to Grant. As a short option. Hasn't this game changed quickly? As Roger Mazzone keeps this going down the line. Slipped to the hands of Keeley. Urban was there. He's got a teammate Wise to work with. Urban wrapped up. We'll get a ball up. Almost 15 minutes gone in this second term. Saints now lead 9-2-56 to 5-8-38.
Only held a 5-point lead at quarter time. That's been extended. And this is despite conceding the first 2 goals of this quarter as McIntyre got a handball away, thumped by Simonson, not to the advantage of his teammate though. He might get this ball back under immense pressure. And about 60-65 metres out from Balwyn's goals. This ball will be tossed up on the broadcast side, right in front of the magnificent club rooms out here at Belgrave South as Miller won it down to Apostolou. Again, has been good today, Apostolou, alongside Jimmy Miller in the midfield. And both playing up forward as well as Miller took it out of ruck. No clearance so far from where it was balled up originally. There's Evans now in ruck. Miller easily won that down after getting good position to Apostolou. And another ball up will take place. So not moved too far from the club rooms out here at Belgrave South. As Evans just decides to fist it forward to the benefit of Wise. Kicked off the deck by Miller, looking for Boyd. Out the back is Smith, who has swung himself down into defence. Happy to be taken over the boundary line for a boundary throw-in. That's the power you get as the skipper and a former AFL player as well in Tim Smith. You can
just play wherever you feel like.
Pretty much.
He's got a licence to do so, doesn't he? One of the greats of the league. We'll get a boundary throw in deep inside Balwyn's attacking half. They do need a goal after conceding the last few. Boyd's around this one. Smith again involved. A quick clearing kick, bouncing towards Greaves. Picks it up nicely. Handball's back towards Garner on the boundary line. Tackled across. Keeping this alive, Barry. The handball forward. Good pressure here from the Tigers. Get a ball up just outside Balwyn's forward 50 arc.
So Oakes has been on the bench for quite a while for Balwyn. He needs to come on and he needs to stand up a little bit in that forward line.
And a free kick here going away of the big man, Jimmy Miller. Now, he says he's going for home, as he should. He's certainly in range. It is a tough angle from this position on the ground. Right on the boundary line, just outside the arc, broadcast side. So Miller to get one back for the Tigers. Kick on its way, stays left. So just a minor score. 5-9-39 Balwyn, 9-2-56 South Belgrave. 7.5 minutes gone, second term.
Boundary side to Jared.
We just saw Tilly come off for Oaks. I kind of want to see them both step up at the same time.
Yeah. Quite fascinating, that rotation as well, given there were two key figures in last year's premiership for Balwyn. As DeRayo goes down the line. Garner parked underneath this, as is Miller. Tapped it down in the end to Urban. Thumped forward by Stevanovski. Oaks under immediate pressure. Still got it out in the direction there of Flynn Marshall. Inside 50. Boyd was there. Smith, the double pumped. Almost to himself in the end. It was from the South Belgrave skipper, locked up by Jack Boyd. And we'll have a ball up. Inside forward 50 for Balwyn, who desperately need the next goal after conceding the last three and having most of the attacking territory as well. As the clearance won by South Belgrave, sees them clear their defensive line, stumped out of bounds by Liam McDermott, who looks like he's got the job on Blake Simonson. And we're going to have a boundary throw in just outside the arc out here at Belgrave South Recreation Reserve. Evans and Miller, the secondary ruckman to duel in this ruck contest as boundary umpire throws this ball back into play. Miller front position, Evans from behind. Try to find his teammate in McIntyre, who ducked and weaved out of trouble. Got the handball away to Grant. Grant long down the line. Lose there. Went up against Josh Curtis. Nearly dragged it back in and tapped it out of bounds in the end. Right in front of us for a boundary throw-in.
That was great play from the U. Outnumbered, managed to keep the ball in the area, set up for another stoppage.
So right in front of us, the media van out here at Belgrave South Recreation Reserve. Great crowd here today. Saints celebrating 80 years. The tap this time won by Miller for the Tigers. Back towards the boundary line it goes. We'll do it all again.
That
Slightly edging closer.
Sorry, Ryan. That play from the U was exactly what Christian Heights was talking about, that ball security. He was able to just protect the ball as the pressure came from a secondary player.
So once again, another boundary throw in. This time, won by Tucker. Lever, quick kick forward, cut off by Kidd. Schreiber's there. Kidd has him wrapped up. About 20 minutes gone in this second term. It's a 17-point lead towards the Saints. McIntyre's handball was cut off. And now Urban moves it on to Jordovic. Jordovic with a quick transition. Switches it across to Pappas. Might be in range. Extends the angle and sends it home with an absolute beauty. Another Tobin Brothers goal of the day contender. And Sam Pappas brings the margin back to 11 points.
First senior goal as well.
And a turnover goal. That handball here, turnover, and really, I don't want to be rude, but Balwyn were just lazy then. They had players that hadn't pushed up to try and defend, was stuck, there was a turnover, and they were all out by themselves. So you've got to take your chances when you get them, and that was a nice kick from the young kid.
Sure was on senior debut. Has been lively, the Oakley Charger, as we're into time on. Tucker with the big leap and the tap down as well. Urban dug a handball out somehow to Lever, who fumbled it and gave it to DeRayo. DeRayo searches in the Damien Garner direction. He'll run onto it before Curtis, but can't keep it in play. Left half forward flank this ball is.
He hasn't done a lot, has he?
No, not really. Played a bit on a wing so far this season and today, but being swung up forward, the former Roeville man, it's Tucker. Won that down to McIntyre, who eventually took possession. Tackled upon immediately by Urban and Yannikadakis. And we'll have a ball up once again at the left half forward flank for South Belgrave as Tucker won that down to Obi Chambers. Dinky kind of kick went to Liam McDermott. Urban trying to slap it forward and does to the advantage of Obi Chambers with a smart tap to Tillig. Tillig got it to Jordovic. Handball out was a really good one and the shot on goal from Stevanovski. And the Tigers have two in an instant. 9-2-56 South Belgrave to Balwyn 7-9-51. They needed to respond, Davo and Emily, and that's exactly what they've done.
So South Belgrave, when the ball is in their forward half of the ground, they play a really spread game. So it's very easy if you do get the ball on a turnover to be able to transition across. However, when the ball is in their D50, they literally put 15 to 16 players around stoppage, which makes it really hard. So a lot of ball and scoring opportunities, and those two in particular, the last two goals that have just happened, have come from that defensive 50 from them, but because there's way more space for them to actually move the ball forward.
So back in the middle, once again, 5 points. The margin, South Belgrave are leading. Tigers with the last two. Tapped down one by Tucker. The handball back from Grant. Just a bit of pressure here from McIntyre. Did well enough, got his hands off back to Grant. And they turn this over now. The quick turnover, Pappas. Just the handball overdid him, and a panic kick here from South Belgrave out of bounds on the full.
Balwyn, we're doing really well with the space and the spread now at the moment.
Yep.
So it'll be Schreiber to take the kick here, right in front of plenty of the South Belgrave faithful. Short kick to Urban. Urban looks to send this long into attack. Couldn't grab a mark there. Could either side.
You know, and he stepped up in the last 5 minutes, Urban, as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that he's got a lot of possessions, but he's done a lot of hard work in the contest.
Every time something seems to work out for Ball when he's involved, there's a long kick out of defence here for the Saints. Out the back is all numbers for the Tigers. Curtis got the handball back. Now through the middle of the ground, Lamott to Barry, and now to Chambers. Inbound kick, finds his target. Lamott looks to switch this now towards the far side. Pollock's by himself, moves this inside 50, just overdid the kick for Tillig as the ball rolls over the line.
I really liked the way they used the ball then. That was clever.
Yeah, it was also very hard. So South Belgrave were all in that defensive half of the 50, which makes using those small, short, sharp kicks really hard because it's so congested.
All right, forward pocket, this ball is tossed back into play. Tucker the tap down, sharked by the Balwyn man, whose kick was touched off the boot. Tillich still flew, tried to outbody his opponent, but umpire says, I'll have it. Now 15 metres out from Balwyn's goals. Another opportunity this time to hit the front for the Tigers as Tucker won it down. Urban the handball back to Carlin, goes for goal. It'll fall short. Sharked by Jordovic, snap! Will it get there? Went almost over the behind post and through for a minor score in the end. 7-10-52, Balwyn plays South Belgrave 9-2-56. 25 minutes gone in the second quarter. They're pressing the Tigers at the moment.
Yeah, they've played well the last 6 minutes, so South Belgrave have got to respond.
The kick in was turned over, slipped through the hands of Apostolo, and now the quick kick inside 50 finds Oakes. Really his first look at it today. Nathan Oakes, known goal kicker for the Tigers. When you look at the lineup, probably one of the more experienced players in the side with plenty of changes over the recent weeks. And this to put the Tigers back in front. Nathan Oakes, the kicking from 45 metres out. The kick's good. Oakes has his first, and the Tigers have the lead again. 8-10-58. They now lead South Belgrave 9-2-56. They've kicked the last 3 goals of this game.
And Lever's now come on for, I think it was Urban. Urban's been fantastic. Lever's now got to stand up and go, he set the tone. I've got to really make sure that I work really hard in this midfield to continue on his good work.
So we wait for the ball up. It's Miller going up in ruck. I reckon that's a better matchup for Balwyn. Tucker going up against Miller, as he won that tap down on cue to Caden Schreiber, locked up by Ben McIntyre. 26.5 minutes of play here in the second term. Balwyn now lead after conceding 3 consecutive goals midway through this quarter as Tucker won it down to Julian. Got a kick eventually, but it's intercepted by Edward Lamont. He goes straight through the spine. The fly there from his teammate. It falls out the back. Schreiber running onto it. Somehow kept his feet. Got it back to Pappas, who gets this ball back from his teammate. Snap on goal will go and be marked by Oakes again.
Well, we put it on him, didn't we? We said he needs to stand up, and he's done that. I tell you what, I'm super impressed with this Lamont, number 17, for Balwyn. He's all class. His ability with the left foot then to put it into the right area, really, really impressive.
He's played a big role in the last couple of goal scoring opportunities for Balwyn.
He has, as Oakes makes it 19-64. Balwyn to South Belgrave 92-56.
Balwyn just kind of getting the game on their terms a little bit. They have a tendency to play, those extra sort of sweepers, and they're creating so much more space, which South Belgrave are really struggling to defend against. So it's allowing just so much more freedom and ability to move the ball seamlessly.
So that margin now out to 8 points in favour of the Tigers. Didn't look good a couple of minutes ago as this one comes out to Lever. Almost a free kick off the ground there by Smith inside 50. Bounce off the hands there of a teammate, and Garner ends up with a footy. Possaloo did well, socket off the ground, and wrapped up in the tackle is Carlin. 28 minutes gone, second term. Thanks for joining us on Radio Eastern, Facebook and YouTube for the big clash today. Miller out of the ruck towards the middle of the ground. This is a big one-on-one to be won. Ryan did well. Lever off the ground for the Tigers. DeRayo picked it up. Handball to Smith, who was standing still. Schreiber goes with the handball forward. Chambers inside 50. Can they get another mark? Pappas is around this one. Picked up here, that time by Morrison. Got the hands off, and they look to escape their back half. The kick missed the target and bounced out of bounds. Not out of danger yet. 29 minutes gone, second term.
So at the moment, every time Balwyn are getting in there, they look like they're going to score.
Oh, they certainly have changed things in the last 5 or 6 minutes of this contest. Back into play again. Punch forward from Miller. Here's Lever. Handballed it forward. Off the right boot. Carlin towards goal on the siren. Puts through yet another Balwyn goal, and they've gone bang, bang, bang to 10-10-70. South Belgrave 9-2-56, and that is a killer for South Belgrave right on half time. And that will now really put the test for the Saints going into the half-time break. It's a 14-point lead. The goal kickers well spread out for the Tigers. Oakes, Boyd and Jordovic, their multiple goal scorers with 2. Simonson has 3 for the Saints. Tyrese Liu with 2. We're going to take a quick break here and then bring in the half-time crew for this Eastland match of the round. The Tigers leading 10-10-70 to 9-2-56 South Belgrave.
As Sarah opened her best friend Jackie's wedding invitation, she was overcome with a wave of emotion. While her 2 young boys wrestled on the floor, tears of happiness rolled down Sarah's cheeks as she saw the words she'd been longing to see. Please note, this wedding will be a child-free event. Well, Sarah, looks like we're off to Eastland for a new frock and some heels. And let's book in that babysitter. For all of life's little moments, there's Eastland. Eastland. Live real.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
Do you feel good about your bank? because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs, and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
The superpower I'd love for a day is to fly.
If I could have a superpower for a day, it would be to time travel so I could go back and see how life was when my parents were young and stuff like that.
Be mind reading. It's always good to know what other people are thinking.
At Tobin Brothers Funerals, their superpower is always providing compassionate care to families at their absolute time of need. Get to know the team at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Do you want to study at the #1 sports science school worldwide? Study sport at Deakin and benefit from the most advanced sports facilities available, from running tracks to biomechanics labs, and decked out gyms to a climate chamber. Deakin have what you need to graduate ahead of the pack. Discover endless opportunities in sports science by visiting deakin.edu.au/sport. Deakin, proud sponsors of the EFNL.
You are listening to Radio Eastern FM 98.1.
With live and exclusive coverage of the EFNL football season, bringing you the match of the day with score updates from all divisions.
And now we cross to our commentary team for the Radio Eastern 98.1 Match of the Day coverage.
Welcome back to South Belgrave Recreation Reserve between the Saints celebrating their 80th year anniversary game, and it's currently right now it's South Belgrave 9-2-56 and Balwyn are leading 10-10-70. So a 14-point lead at the half going to Tigers, and boy, we've got a halftime special right here with two of the most very special people that know a lot of football about the Eastern Football League, and that's Matt Spider Lee. Welcome on the halftime show.
Yeah, g'day Blake, g'day everyone, and looking forward to having a good discussion here.
Oh, we've got South Belgrave royalty. Now, found him as well, texting him last night and been heckling to come on, but he's back with us, and we managed to get the great Lee Onomat. Welcome aboard, mate.
Thank you for having me, guys. It was a very lovely drive on the way up the hill for the first time in a while, and just all the memories came back of the shortcuts to come around the back end into the ground. So it was all coming back to me. But it's a little bit bizarre. We had a bit of a laugh about it when it sort of first. Obviously, the boys won the flag last year, and Balwyn, the likes of Balwyn and Vermont having to come up the mountain. They probably booked accommodation at Upway tonight or something like that.
Would you know any hotels around the area?
Or the team bus.
So it's that's fantastic in itself. But it's been a good day for footy. Not much wind and dry, thankfully. So, but the last couple of minutes, Balwyn just got on top, didn't they? And the boys just couldn't lock them down, unfortunately.
Well, let's talk about it, because really, when you looked at the start of the quarter, South Belgrave had all the momentum. They got, they had plenty of the ball going into their 50, which Sando talked about at quarter time. Every time they went into 50, they were efficient and they were scoring. A couple of undisciplined acts by Balwyn, particularly in that early part of that second term, which resulted in goals, the double goal, and then at the time, so there was a little bit of undisciplined play there, but then they were able to arrest the momentum back in their favour, and particularly at the back end of that quarter, and that was come down to guys like Alex Urban, who were simply terrific in that middle part of the quarter, which basically got the game back on Balwyn's terms. Thought they really put some good work into that, the way they transitioned the ball, the way they defended. Guys like Djordjevic were really important, getting score involvement, but also scoring as well. Pappas doing some really good things, playing up the ground. He got his first senior goal. So did some really good things, and they really put the pressure back on South Belgrave.
Do we know how many possessions Urban's actually had? Because every time I seem to be looking at the ground, he's got the pill in his hand. So
he definitely wait until Monday or Tuesday. But just want to touch on, and just hearing, obviously, we've had the great luxury of being next door to the coaches' boxes. But I'll throw it up to you guys here. But I just heard Christian Hyde to say 3 goals in 5 minutes when we're meant to be on red time. Really, what do you think he's probably invading there in that saying?
Well, there's times in their league when you need to go slow and need to go fast. So they were going slow at periods of time during the game and trying to just kick the ball around, but then when they were turning the ball over, they were getting punished on turnover. And we saw it a couple of times, which is identified. They got hurt on turnover badly because they couldn't keep possession of the ball.
Yeah, absolutely. I think for majority of the time they've sort of played the South Belgrave style of footy. So when teams come here, try to make them feel uncomfortable. It's a real contested, hard style of football. So it's been a little bit manic, and they've created a bit of manic footy, but there was times then when to chew the clock down because, as you said, on that rebound, geez, they just cut them in half.
Yeah, they did. And also through the contested ball, Blake. I mean, the contested ball numbers and the clearances, Balwyn really doing some good things. They haven't been able to get, the clearance value, South Belgrave particularly, through the most of that part of that quarter.
And I'm just going to ask you this, because obviously you guys know a bit about it, but whose rooms would you like to be in at half time? You would say South Belgrave at quarter time, but do you feel like it's on Balwyn's terms right now as we
definitely.
speak?
Yeah, look, it is, because, isn't it, really, when you think about it? They've got the game the way they want to play it, because if South Belgrave can't control the game with ball in hand, they're just going to get turned over, and the ball's going to keep rebounding back, and they're going to keep getting these entries ball. I mean, in that first quarter, they would have had nearly 30 entries, and you look at what they kicked in that first quarter, and then then in that quarter again, once again, haven't been able to clear the ball out of the defensive 50, and that's been a real big issue for them.
Yeah, it's going to be, South's got to be within earshot at three-quarter time, so this is going to be the quarter, it's going to define it whether,
Premiership
Balwyn,
quarter,
100%, if Balwyn can come out and just continue that momentum. I think the siren come at a good time for South just to try and take a deep breath and regroup. But if they're able to come out and score like they did pretty freely in that last 5 minutes, it's going to be a fair deficit.
How exciting is this kid, though, Sam Pappas? What a game he's having so far.
He's having good impact.
First game for Balwyn, coming through from Oakley Chargers, so it's great seeing him playing as well. But yeah, this game is really, it's opened up now, hasn't it? We all thought Balwyn slow start, coming down the highway or around up the mountain, I would say, an hour drive coming here. So, but I think it's going to be a really exciting second half of footy.
Well, if they can get the game on their terms again, Balwyn's reset again, and if they can start well, going to be really hard work for South Belgrave. A couple of South Belgrave players, Lee, I've been impressed with. Dario, thought he's sensational. Think he's playing a really good game. Tim Smith, as we know, can just play anywhere and everywhere. He's having a real impact. Simonson. He's
superstar.
Yeah, he's displaying a really important role. Balwyn have had to put a bit of work into him, particularly in that second term. And then when you look at it for Balwyn, as we were alluding to, some of the guys, I think Miller's playing a really good game. Boyd was good early, and I think also for South Belgrave, we should mention Clay Tucker. I think Tucker is doing some really good things.
Very large vessel, the young fella, isn't he? Yeah. So it's and those are the names for South. If they're going to be a chance, those are the names they've got to play a big second half and get the boys within earshot. Yep. I think if they could be set up sort of at that three-quarter time, nice, as close as possible, then they're going to be well in the game.
A player, Blake, I wanted to ask you about Schreiber, playing a really good role for Balwyn. And he's been really important in the transition and the link-up, and some of his work up and down the ground with his work rate has been impressive.
All right, we might just quickly go through some scores before we get the crew back in. So Roeville have a 16-point lead over Blackburn, 33-17. Doncaster East lead South Croydon 58-35. East Ringwood up by 10 points against Berwick 41-31. Obviously you're at this game, you know the score here. Vermont 56-34 over Naval Park. I'll go into Division 1 now. Boronia 45, Bayswater 27. They're hanging in there, Bayswater, after what's going on the last couple of weeks. Montrose 74-53 over Norwood. Beaconsfield 41-12 over Murrelbach. Park Orchards have hit the front for the first time this afternoon. They lead 56-43. And Montana South leads 32-24. Division 2, just quickly, Mulgrave 51 to Heapon 26. Ringwood 33-22. 1 point lead to Scoresby over Waverley Blues. Surrey Park comfortable at the moment, 46-13. And Lilydale, believe this, boys, 59-9 over Templestowe. That is an upset brewing down there. Whitehorse lead over Ferntree Gully 57-50. Knox lead 46-27 over Coldstream. The Basin 30 to Sylvan 27, so 3 points there. Upper Gully 59 to 28, and we quickly move to Division 4 before we wrap things up for the halftime show here. Obviously no scores, but a forfeit match today between Doncaster and Bully and Templestowe, so hopefully Doncaster's okay. Fair Park lead by 9 points. Warrandyte lead by a lot over Nunawading Morning. All right,
Yeah, might get nasty, that one.
Yeah.
So
we're going to quickly wrap it up here. Who wins and why? Just quickly, just a quick one.
Balwyn for me. I think they'll be able to get the job done. I think they're in for a big third.
I'll get shot if I don't say the red, black and white.
Where are you seated today? Are you in that far bench?
I'm not over there with the where the shenanigans is going to be going on the longer the game goes, but I'm going to be over the clubroom side and catching up with a lot of people.
Yeah. Hopefully it's close in the second half.
Very good.
Absolutely.
All right, we're going to wrap things up. This is the halftime show. Balwyn lead by 14 points. The crew is back. Stay tuned for the second half.
Today at Eastland, Lucy's trying on jeans for a momentous occasion. Coffee with the ex. She needs jeans she can move in because she's definitely moved on. Jeans that get a second look, but don't give any second chances. Jeans that say, why yes, I have spent the last 8 months in a post-breakup juice cleansing, kickboxing, personal training frenzy. And it looks as though she's just found the perfect pair. Bravo, Lucy. For all of life's little moments, there's Eastland. Eastland. Live real.
Sprained your ankle bursting through the banner? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home, at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. You'll generally experience shorter wait times. Knox Private 24/7 Emergency, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs, and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
The one thing that puts a smile on my face is my kids.
The sun shining through the clouds even in winter absolutely puts the biggest smile on my face.
Seeing delicious food on the table ready for me when I get home.
One thing that always puts a smile on my face is seeing my family.
The thing that puts a smile on my face every time is really good music.
Just the simple pleasures in life.
Be remembered for the greatest moments in your life. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
There are only 3 things that should be flushed down your toilet. Pee, poo and paper. Some wet wipes and antibacterial wipes say that you can flush them, but you can't. They clog up the toilet and pipes, causing expensive blockages. Save yourself a truckload of trouble. Put your wet wipes in the bin. To learn more, head to the Yarra Valley Water website, yvw.com.au/wet-wipes.
Hi, Dylan Dow from the Baroni Football Netball Club here. When I need to grab a quick coffee or a bite to eat, I'm popping into Eastland. Eastland's more than a shopping centre. They support a range of community organisations and have been a major partner of the EFNL since 2018. Cheers, Eastland.
You are listening to Radio Eastern FM 98.1.
With live and exclusive coverage of the EFNL football season, bringing you the match of the day with score updates from all divisions.
And now we cross to our commentary team for the Radio Eastern 98.1 Match of the Day coverage.
Well, welcome back to Belgrave South Recreation Reserve. We're all set to go for the big second half here in the Eastland match of the round. It is the Tigers 10-10-70, leading South Belgrave 9-2-56 as both clubs back on the field, ready to go in just a moment. As we get ready and start to look ahead, Josh, fascinating second term. A lot of goals kicked in this one, and usually it is when you come out here to Belgrave South. But particularly for the Tigers, the way they responded after they kicked the first 2, and then South Belgrave got a bit of a run on. And I think it was the last 4 goals that way it went the way of the Tigers, including one on the halftime siren to stretch that out to their game high of a 14-point lead.
It was a very handy goal from Ali Carlin as well, and the perfect time to kick his first senior goal as well for the Oakley Chargers. So, look, I think they did really well, Davo and Emily, to get back into the contest, and it came from their leaders, Alex Erb and Nathan Oakes, starting to really step it up.
Yeah, and I think they just they took advantage of the turnover game. South Belgrave made a couple of mistakes with their hands, turned it over, and they were clean getting the ball across the field and took advantage on that far side. They were able to kick a couple of good goals on that far pocket, which is not easy to do. So, look, it's going to be interesting. If South Belgrave can limit their mistakes, then they still are right in this game.
Well, Balwyn, they have a method to their madness, and that's going to be holding up over the rest of the game. And so, again, like you just said there, Davo, if South Belgrave aren't able to capitalise on that and they're having those turnovers, well, then all of a sudden, Balwyn, the way they move the ball, the way they're set up behind stoppage, all of that is going to result in, more goals, more possession, and, hopefully still a close game there.
Yep.
Absolutely. As umpire holds the ball aloft, we're underway in the third quarter of this Eastland match of the round, and it's Miller going up in ruck against Tucker, who won it down, did Tucker. McIntyre slapped it forward. Read best, though, by the Balwyn man, who handballed it off to Urban. Urban inside forward 50. Tillich was there. Morrison couldn't complete the grab. Boyd's out the back. Pappas is around this as well. It spills to Lever. He's got a player over the top in Jordovic. Bounce doesn't favour him. Still manages to take clean possession off the left. Isn't the greatest kick, and Doreo pulls in a good mark in the end. Been prominent as Calvin Doreo, probably one of South Belgrave's better players, as he normally is. Goes wide to Braden Ryan. Right back pocket, he has it. Vice captain of this South Belgrave side to a former skipper in Liam Kidd. And a two-time league best and fairest winner with the Saints. His kick's not the greatest. Couldn't take clean possession there, could Julian. Pappas pounces. Handball back to McDermott. And ignored the original kick option. Got a kick away anyway. Schreiber onto the left. Drifts to the left, and it's tapped out of bounds in the end from Jack Morrison. So an early opportunity on goal for Balwyn.
South Belgrave have to do something about that sweeper role that Balwyn have in every single stoppage, or whether it's just the ball going to ground. They win the ball consistently because they always have a player there, and it's been over a half of football now, and South Belgrave are doing nothing about it.
Doesn't look like they have any loose players at this stoppage. As once again, we waited a while for the footy. Boundary umpire will toss this back into play. Boyd now going up in ruck against Tucker, who's been dominant in terms of hit-outs. He won that down again. Lever ran onto it. McIntyre got a handball away, tapped it forward. Lever again runs onto it. Got it to Oakes. Oakes to Jordovic. Sold the candy. Check side for a beauty!
Are they going to pay a free kick here?
They are going to pay a free kick to South Belgrave, and it's Jack Morrison.
Oh, that was stiff, because I think he would have been a big contender for the Tobin Brothers goal of the day. He's already got one contender. $50 voucher for the winner picked at the end of the game. As Kidd in possession of the footy. Would have been the perfect start for Balwyn too. They still lead by 14 points. Dangerous kick there by Kidd across goal, and Jack Tillich gets there to spoil it across the line.
Just a quick announcement about someone doing a illegal park. So that's what the announcement's for, if you're listening.
Didn't hear that.
And also the scoreboard reflects an extra behind, but that wasn't paid, I don't believe, because of the free kick.
So. Yeah, so
our score is correct.
10-10 plays 9-2. Lever goes back to Oakes. Oakes left boot inside 50. And the mark is taken by Caden Schreiber.
I believe that was a sweeper that was behind that contest then.
Oh, absolutely. And that goal that wasn't a goal, it was the exact same there.
Yeah.
So Caden Schreiber looking for his first. Like he was almost about to give it off. Certainly in range.
It's only 30 out. He'll be okay.
That's right. Not big arcs out here at South Belgrave as Schreiber comes in, kicking from just inside the arc. Kick on its way. Does it fall short? Touch off line. Did Tillich get a boot to it, but it was touched across first. Hit the post. So 10-11, 71 Balwyn. South Belgrave 9-56. 3.5 minutes gone third term.
Liam Kidd on kick-out duties. 3.5 minutes of play here as he goes to the far side. Lou's parked underneath this, affected the contest up against Pollux, kicked off the deck. McDermott runs onto it, has Lamont as a handball option, looks inboard. That was a good kick to Obi Chambers, although he was up in the air for a while. Chambers still took the uncontested grab to Schreiber on this broadcast side. Got options on centre wing. He looks to go with the dangerous 45 kick, and it'll be intercepted by Kidd, who could almost go for goal here. Liam Kidd sets sail. Intercepted by Liam McDermott. Nearly had the distance from Kidd, who's had a few possessions early on as McDermott went out wide to Isaac Barry. Took a strong grab. His kick was, or sold the candy in fact. Goes to the left half forward flank. Tillig was there up against Braden Ryan. McIntyre runs onto it. Got a handball away, but it'll trickle out of bounds for a boundary throw in. So we're still in the forward half of of Balwyn. On the left half forward flank for them, as they look to add another and extend their advantage out to 21 points. We've nearly played 5 minutes in this third quarter of the Eastland match of the round. Tucker took it out of ruck, got Boots a ball. Barry, did he push out his opponent illegally? He didn't. He got the kick. It was nearly intercepted, but it spills out now to Carlin in the middle of Belgrave South. Handball away to Lever. A quick handball to McDermott was good. Kick intercepted. A great mark from Ryan.
He's off straight away. The quick kick to Tyrese Lou. Centre wing here for the Saints. Long kick in the direction of Smith. He'll fly for this one at front position. Miller wrapped up by Smith, and he's thrown it. Holding the ball, free kick. Tim Smith. It was going to come back to him to take the set shot on goal, despite the potential advantage. And the second effort was brilliant as the skipper for the Saints. Big moment in this game. If you can put this one through, maybe get the momentum back on the Saints side in the early stages of this third term. There's one player in a South Belgrave jumper you trust with the footy. It's this man right here, Tim Smith. He's kicked plenty of goals at this ground. Then this one, add another. Right through the middle. Smith has got his second of the afternoon. And the Saints get the margin back. 10-62 to Balwyn 10-11-71.
That's what class looks like.
It actually does. And he's someone that had moments, but needs to step up, I reckon, in this second half, if South Belgrave are to get over the line, the skipper. He's kicked 13 goals now this season, 12 of which have come in South Belgrave's last 3 games. There's a free kick found. It's going to South Belgrave. And Clay Tucker will take advantage. Handballs it off to McIntyre. McIntyre inside forward 50 in the Smith direction again. He's coming up big the last couple of minutes is Tim Smith. And this to reduce the deficit to 3 points.
Like, we've watched a lot of footy, but this bloke is one of the most influential players when he's on song in the competition because he can do everything.
And what kind of angle is he on?
A difficult one.
Pretty much tucked up to the boundary. Inside the arc, he'll kick this from Tim Smith. Misses to the right.
But how costly are those free kicks in the middle of the ground and the 15-metre penalties, 25-metre penalties here at this ground?
Without a doubt. Yeah, just can't afford to be doing that sort of stuff.
A quick centre clearance inside. Doesn't result in a goal, though, as this ball comes back out. Great mark there by Jack Tillig. Strong hands. He'll kick down the line towards us. He's looking for Boyd. He's able to take it in front of Muirhead. Jack Boyd, one of the big recruits of the Tigers this season. Sends it inside 50. Tucker's in front position. It's crumbed there by Marshall. He's kicked just a minor score, moving ball into 10-12-72. South Belgrave 10-3-63. 9-point margin.
8 minutes gone, third quarter, as the kick-in went short to Evans. Signals that he's going down the line where a big pack is. Lamott flew on the ground. Keeley. Garner decides to slap it forward. Will Lloyd run onto it? It's McDermott who does, and it's out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. So an opportunity for South Belgrave. Quickly move this ball to the left half forward flank as Miller and Tucker prepare themselves to go up in ruck. Miller wanted down. McIntyre ran onto it, dished it off to DeRayo, kept it in place somehow. Kick will be cut off by Pollux. So in his defensive 50. Short option is a dangerous one. It'll be turned over here. Running into his own teammate there was Lou. They can't take advantage, can the Saints, and Balwyn will be able to repel. Will it be temporarily? Tucker parked underneath this. The contest forced from Boyd. Handball wasn't the greatest, but it still found Caleb Jordovic. Goes to the goal square, which is empty at the moment. It fades to the left and through for a minor. 10-13-73 Balwyn, I should say, to South Belgrave. 10-3-63, 9.5 minutes played.
I've liked his involvement. Jordovic back in the side this weekend. The youngster coming across from Donvale as they move this out now. South Belgrave through Julian. And they've done this well. Garner has just taken 3 kicks to get it to the top of the square. Smith, one hand. He's going to get a free kick. It's against the Tigers. And he is not far out from goal from here. Bit of an angle. But Tim Smith, geez, he's looked dangerous in the last 5 or 6 minutes here for the Saints.
Gee, the ball's transitioned up and down the ground the last 5 minutes quite quickly, hasn't it? And it's been like no team touching it each time.
So Smith looking for his third of the day. Puts it through. Back to 4 points. South Belgrave 11-3-69, Balwyn 10-13-73. Game on again at Belgrave South Recreation Reserve.
I'd make a change there. I wouldn't put Silvani on him.
No.
I'd tell you, Silvani tends to wrestle too much, and Smith's too clever when you get a wrestle. Smith's really clever in that situation. So I'd make a change and maybe put Pollux back onto him.
I was going to say Pollux is pretty mobile and does have a big... not as big a body as Silvani, but he's still someone that can take it up to someone like Smith as Miller won it down to Simonson. Taken down there by Alex Urban, and a secondary ball up will take place in the middle of Belgrave South Recreation Reserve. As Tucker and Miller wrestle, it's Miller who won it down to Lever. Lever's handball was a good one to Apostolou over the top. There's a holding free kick found for the Tigers, and their skipper Alex Urban had Obi Chambers as a handball option, decides to go the kick. Noah Lever can set sail for goal. It drifts to the left. Will it come back enough? No, it doesn't. 10-14-74 Balwyn to South Belgrave. 11-3-69. 11.5 minutes played here, third quarter.
Gee, some of these easy misses are really going to come back maybe to bite Balwyn.
So Kidd with the kick in. Finds Muirhead. Muirhead out of defence here for South Belgrave. They've worked this along the boundary side on the far side of this ground. Another kick towards a big pack of players who will fly for this one. Out the back, Miller got hands to it. And we're going to get a stoppage. There's a ball up just onside the arc. Down at South Belgrave's end of the ground. 12 minutes gone in this third term. 5-point lead here to the Tigers. Tap down one by the Saints. Julian, bouncing ball. Silvani's got Smith to compete with as he gets it across the line. It's a fascinating duel. Two great players of the Premier Division competition. We're deep inside South Belgrave's forward 50. And a game of momentum of this one. Pollux wrapped up by two Saints, and we'll get another ball up, another stoppage deep in the Saints forward 50, Josh.
Another opportunity for them, and it looks like it's going to be Lou who goes up in ruck. In fact, it isn't. It's Miller for Balwyn. Won it down, and the clearance. Will it be cut off? It won't. DeRayo again, the tap. Up against Noah Lever, who did really well. The former Williamstown man dished it off to Chambers. Chambers to Urban. Urban dancing his way out of trouble. Going to this broadcast side wing where Tillig almost wraps up McIntyre, and McIntyre can't keep it in play. In fact, that was Muirhead. And a ball in will take place. Bang on centre wing broadcast side.
Gee, Urban's hard work has been fantastic, hasn't it, after quarter time?
You'd argue probably Balwyn's best player so far as the tap down one by Yannick Darkis. The kick went in the Jordovic direction. He's been threatening, as has Sam Pappas. Inside forward 50, Nathan Oakes went up against McIntyre. Outbodied McIntyre before the latter slapped it through for a behind. 14 minutes of play here. Balwyn 10-15-75, lead by one straight kick. 11-3-69 South Belgrave at the 14-minute mark.
So Liam Kidd once again with the kick in. He's got Simonson in the pocket. Simonson moves this along quickly. Down the line. Big fly. Can't quite grab it. As Greaves got hands to it. Back out for the Tigers through Lever. In the middle of the ground. Urban.
It's a very open game at the moment. South
Yeah.
Belgrave have really changed the way that they're setting up defensively and lengthening the ground a lot more.
So Miller. Just a thumping kick off the side of the boot forward.
And that's allowing for so many more intercept marks.
And another one there, but the kick is just worked out okay here for the Saints. Keeping this one alive there, Hollier. Stolen away, Oakes. Towards the boundary side. Wrapped up in the tackle there was Carlin and caught for holding the ball. Free kick here going the way of Matthew Hollier.
I reckon they need to get him more involved in the game. He provides some runs, some spark of a half-back line, the Williamstown listed man.
Yeah, he has, coming into side this weekend. Short option, finds Durea, and he's off back to Hollier. There he is, in towards their forward 50. Chasing this one towards the boundary line is Tyrese Liu, trying to keep it alive. Not able to do so.
Great idea, though, because they were waiting for it, South Belgrave then.
Plenty of numbers around that footy. It's at the right forward pocket around about 25, 30 metres out from their goals. An opportunity for them to tie the scores at 75 apiece if they kick it straight. They won't get that opportunity though, as Miller on it down. The South Belgrave man couldn't get a clean kick away. Caden Schreiber can, but it's under immediate pressure. Still found Tillich, who couldn't complete the juggling grab. Pouncing on it there is Julian. Got the handball back to Liam Kidd. Kidd inside forward 50 in the Smith direction. The mark taken there by Miller. Miller goes to this broadcast side where Pappas is. The spoil.
Oh, that's a good mark.
That is a really great mark in front of Braden Ryan.
He's been absolutely unreal today.
He's had a good debut. He has the Oakley Charger. As mentioned, Brenton Sanderson spoke very highly of him in the pre-game. Goes near forward 50. Jordovic at the fall of the ball. Slapped it in the direction of Stefanovski. Can't take clean possession. McIntyre dished the handball off. And the Saints are out. Hollier goes long in the Tim Smith direction. Up against Silvani and Miller. Silvani thumps it out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. So 16 and a half minutes of play here, and it is South Belgrave 11-3-69, trailing ball in 10-15-75.
Do you reckon Silvani's starting to figure him out now a bit?
Well, he's a defensive backman, so he's always going to go for the punch and knock down here. So, yeah, if he plays him in a certain way and the ball just sits up, he'll definitely be able to play that way against him.
Back into play, Miller got the hit out and then found the footy wrapped up, this time by Matt Evans.
And now Smith comes up the ground slightly to get away from him.
Yeah, and Tucker's now on Silvani at the moment.
Yep.
17 minutes gone, third term. Still a lead towards the Tigers, 6 points, but they haven't kicked a goal in this quarter as South Belgrave have made their way back into the contest once more. Towards the boundary line, chasing that is McIntyre. Over and out it goes. 11-3-69, South Belgrave 10-15-75, Balwyn. Thanks for joining us, Radio Eastern 98.1 FM and our Facebook and YouTube streams for the Eastland match of the round. Big 4 points to be won today. Barry was there. Schreiber with the handball. Back in towards the middle of the ground. It was socket off, and here's a big chance that Jordovic picked it up cleanly, did it nicely, got the hands off, and they link up through Wise and Chambers. Chambers inside 50, bouncing kick for Tillich. The handball back wasn't towards his target. Keeping this alive, Muirhead towards the boundary here for the Tigers. And handball across the line.
I'm surprised Tillich didn't turn around and have a go himself. Then that's normally his play, but I mean it's good that he played the team rule. But yeah, he
well kicked a goal like that in the first term where he spun around on the right.
He's had an almost day, Tillich. He's been working very hard up the ground, but not quite affecting it as much as you'd want.
To the boundary throw-in, still deep inside. Balwyn's forward half. Handball from Windsor to McIntyre. McIntyre long down the line. Smith out the back against Silvani. He's given away the free kick, so Ben Silvani here will play this on.
And he goes to Pollux. In his defensive 50, dangerous kick in board, risk and reward, and it's potentially reward for South Belgrave as McIntyre slapped it to Greaves, couldn't take clean possession. Barry wrapped up, Smith tries to barge his way through, he does, got it on the boot, and it's out of bounds in the right forward pocket. A chance here for South Belgrave once again, who trailed this game by one straight kick, have had most of the territory in this third quarter. The 19-minute mark. We are as Tucker and Yannikadakis prepare themselves once again for this ruck contest. Some ball thrown back into play, falls short of them. Yannikadakis nearly took possession. Schreiber did, who's under immediate pressure, but umpire says, I'll have it, boys. And we'll settle this stalemate with a ball up once again. As Tucker won that down. Plenty of numbers inside the 450 for South Belgrave. It's through for a minor score. Bailey Lloyd missing an opportunity there. And it is South Belgrave 11-4-70, now trailing by 5 points. Balwyn 10-15-75.
Balwyn. Silvani for the Tigers. Receiving the kick in. 20 minutes gone, third term. They still have a 5-point lead. Yet to kick a goal in this quarter. Silvani towards us on the broadcast side, picked off by Evans. It was a 2-on-1 in favour of the Saints. There's Matt Evans. Puts this towards the top of the square. Was that a mark? It's been paid. Now, it looked like at first... No, it hasn't.
Touch.
That's what I thought.
Just as well, Matthew Holly is a bit ginger after what happened with that contest before as well.
Thanks, Blake. We'll keep an eye on that one as we get another ball up inside South Belgrave's forward 50. 20 and a half minutes gone, third term. Tucker in the ruck. Beats out Silvani that time. Greaves is there. Chasing that one first for Wise. Smart little tap. Works out well for the Tigers as they get a clearing kick out of their back half. Spoiled bomb behind from Braden Ryan, doing a fantastic job.
Certainly is the vice-captain of this South Belgrave side, and we'll have a ball in left half forward flank for the Saints, about 55 metres out from their goals. Miller up against Matty Evans. And it's Evans who won that tap down. Urban will run onto it, get a quick handball away to Chambers. Goes to centre wing broadcast side where Garner read it best. Goes in board. It'll be intercepted, or should be, by Stefanovski. He's still got it down to Schreiber. Schreiber to the far side wing where Carlin is up against Liam Kidd, who took the juggling grab. A good mark there from the experienced South Belgrave campaigner. Goes searching for Smith down the line with a dart of a ball. Mazzone was there as they scored it out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. So 21 and 3/4 minutes played here, third quarter. It's South Belgrave 11-4-70, trailing Balwyn 10-15-75. Can they create an opportunity from this stoppage? I think the only goals of this third quarter, what's been a tight contest, as Miller won it down. McIntyre sold the candy deep inside forward 50, where Tucker will fly from behind. Curtis did really well, and it's a boundary throw-in. So another opportunity for South Belgrave in their attacking 50.
I think they're dangerous down there with Tucker and Smith. So they've done well, though, Balwyn. They've really stopped them the last 3 or 4 entries into those two players.
Yeah, they've had a couple of opportunities here, have the Saints.
And they're really trying to condense the ground so they can capitalise on those tall targets as well. So if Balwyn do get it out, they've got a really good opportunity, but it's just really hard when it's so messy like this.
So a bit of a scrap again here is just dropping it was McIntyre. In fact, that was Mazzone. And it's Urban once again, who's, as we said, has been pretty impressive for the Tigers. Certainly one of the more experienced players at Balwyn today. Kicking towards the middle of the ground. Big ball to be won here. Lever. Did he drop it? Play on was the call. Inside 50, the Tigers. Mark is taken. And having potentially the set shot is Carlin. Looked like not too confident. And that's a very short kick. It didn't quite reach Oakes.
He had Tillich on the inside on the 45. He should have gone for him. He's just a little bit too slow in taking the kick then.
They are still inside their forward half. Tucked down by Boyd. Off to Oakes on the left boot. Towards goal. Minor score. Balwyn now moved to 10-16-76. 6-point lead over South Belgrave. 11-4-70.
23 and a half minutes played here. Third quarter is... We wait once again for the ball on the Mount Morden Road side of Belgrave South Recreation Reserve. Blake?
Hollier now on the ground now after that collision that he had before. So good signs there.
There's a bit of a recurring theme, isn't it, Ryan?
I'll tell you what, kid's probably had a fair few disposals today. Plenty of kick-ins for him.
He's been influential, has Liam Kidd, as well, in this third quarter. Goes to the right back pocket, where all by himself is Sam Muirhead. Goes searching for Simonson, but guess who Alex Urban read it best. Staking his claim as best on ground for the Tigers. Is probably the most experienced player in their lineup. Goes long inside forward 50. Tillig with the sit. Tucker paid the grab. And it was a strong one from the ex-Eastern Ranger and Hawthorn listed man. Goes to Zach Reeves. Still in his defensive 50. Short to Grant under duress. Still took the grab in front of Isaac Barry.
He's got nothing down the line.
It's all yellow and black. But he is forced to go down the line. Miller should take an uncontested grab, despite some pressure from DeRayo. Fair effort from the Tigers to force the turnover. As they go right in front of Vast. The fly from Tillig. And that was a great grab from Jack Tillig. 55 metres out from goal. He'll look to send it in the direction of Nathan Oakes. But it's read best by the South Belgrave man. That might be Muirhead who gets a free kick.
He wanted Boyd to move for him there. It was Boyd the target, actually. He wanted him to move for him there, and he just didn't have the space in that forward line to do so.
Was that 25-metre penalty as well?
It was.
Given away a couple today, have Balwyn.
That might be the shortest 25.
Yeah, I was going to say. It was. Between
well, it's half the ground, Blake, so they can't take him too far.
That's true. As Garner sends a long kick towards half forward. Great hands again. That's Miller. Had some good moments today. He looks to switch this play across to the far side. Stefanovski here for the Tigers. They move this across. He was looking for Lever. Came off the side of the boot. And we'll get a boundary throw in. Not where you want to shank your kick right in front of probably the South Belgrave faithful over there. Some premiership players, I'm sure.
Pleaded their case for out of bounds on the full there, but to no avail.
No, we get a boundary throw in. Tucker and Miller. Urban again to Schreiber. Back to Miller. Long kick forward. Bit of a kick in hope. The mark is taken by Muirhead once more for the Saints. Been good in defence. Goes back on that side once again. Schreiber came in and knocked his opponent as he did so without getting hands to the football and has given away the free kick. Has he?
I don't think he has.
Boundary throw in for that.
So boundary throw on far side. 27 minutes gone of this third term. It's 6-point lead towards the Tigers. Lever to Schreiber. Schreiber off to Jordovic. Got a bit of speed on him. Jordovic towards goal. It's intercepted here by the Saints.
Tim McIntyre has got an option on this broadcast side in Baron Grant, who took the grab. Working hard on the wing. Had Lou offering it short. Decides to evade Caleb Jordovic and send it long in the Tim Smith direction up against Silvani. The latter did really well. McDermott was there on the ground. Smith followed up and took it out of bounds.
Balwyn's structure has held up really well over the last 5-10 minutes, which has stopped a lot of that South Belgrave flow and making them having to bomb the ball down the line. Very, very good play. That the method to the madness.
Certainly right as Tucker and Miller go up. Miller nearly took it out of ruck. Smothered by his own teammate there was Marshall. As getting the kick away are the Tigers through McDermott. They head in the Tillig direction. Garner out the back as the three-quarter time siren sounds. There it is 10-16-76 Balwyn to South Belgrave 11-4-70. A close contest once again in the Eastland match of the round. The major goal kickers Tim Smith with 3, Blake Simonson with 3, and Tyrese Lowe with 2 goals for South Belgrave. Whilst for Balwyn, Nathan Oakes, Jack Boyd, Caleb Jordovic with 2 goals each. We're going to go to another break here in the Eastland match of the round. When we return, we'll have one of the coaches once again and the final quarter of action out here at Belgrave South Recreation Reserve.
As Sarah opened her best friend Jackie's wedding invitation, she was overcome with a wave of emotion. While her 2 young boys wrestled on the floor, tears of happiness rolled down Sarah's cheeks as she saw the words she'd been longing to see. Please note, this wedding will be a child-free event. Well, Sarah, looks like we're off to Eastland for a new frock and some heels. Let's book in that babysitter. For all of life's little moments, there's Eastland. Eastland. Live real.
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time, or show time, to 4 minutes can save you an average of $200 a year on water and energy bills. Shower shorter. Save water. Authorised by the Victorian Government, 1 Treasury Place, Melbourne.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League. You'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wantirna.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
The superpower I'd love for a day is to fly.
If I could have a superpower for a day, it would be to time travel so I could go back and see how life was when my parents were young and stuff like that.
Be mind reading. It's always good to know what other people are thinking.
At Tobin Brothers Funerals, their superpower is always providing compassionate care to families at their absolute time of need. Get to know the team at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Hi, I'm Ben Desson from Montrose Football Netball Club, and when I need a new kit for a night out, I head over to Eastland. But Eastland is more than a shopping centre. They support a range of community organisations and have been major partners of the Eastern Football Netball League since 2018. Thanks, Eastland.
You are listening to Radio Eastern FM 98.1.
With live and exclusive coverage of the EFNL football season, bringing you the match of the day with score updates from all divisions.
And now we cross to our commentary team for the Radio Eastern 98.1 Match of the Day coverage.
Welcome back to Belgrave South Recreation Reserve, Eastland match of the round. It is a close finish we're expecting out here at Belgrave South. It is Balwyn 10-16-76 leading South Belgrave 11-4-70. Josh Wood here alongside Brett Davidson, Ryan Long, Emily Mackay, plus Jared Beanland and Blake Tindall on the boundary. Hopefully we get Brenton Sanderson after his three-quarter time address, which is just happening at the moment. But before we do, we'll go through some of the key scores around the grounds, and we'll start with the top flight, the Premier Division, and it is Roval 7-5-47 leading a slightly inaccurate Blackburn 2-7-19 in that contest. We'll go down to Division 1 and there's two very interesting contests taking place at Domini Reserve and Walker Reserve. It is Park Orchard 17-12-114 leading Mitcham 11-2-68. It must be said it is a depleted Mitcham outfit with no Tom Lovell and Guy Lachlan listed yesterday. And at Walker Reserve, Wantirna South inaccurate 4-11-35, trailing North Ringwood 8-7-55 out there in that contest. In Division 2, there's certainly some fascinating contests, and out at Templestowe Reserve, it is 3-4-22, Templestowe to Lilydale 9-4-58 out there at the moment. And we'll touch on some of the Division 3 scores. It is Ferntree Gully who lead as well against Whitehorse Pioneers, 9-11-65 to Whitehorse 9-9-63, and the Basin 6-7-43 leads Sylvan 5-10-40. And then we'll head our way down into Division 4 for some key scores there. Fair Park leading over Kilsyth 9-8-62, the Lions to Kilsyth 7-10-52. But Brett Davidson, certainly some interesting contests around the grounds, as it is out here at Belgrave South Recreation Reserve. What do you reckon the keys are? We might cross down boundary side shortly, actually, to Blake Tennant, who does have Brenton Sanderson alongside him.
Yeah, just got Brenton Sanderson. Brendo, you sort of listened to what I was thinking as well. Your forwards were not giving you much in that side 50 went there that quarter.
No, we're getting enough ball in there. The kicks haven't been that great to defend the forwards, I guess. But we're just it's just bouncing out of there, dropping marks, not competing in the air. So we've got to be smarter in how we do it.
Any changes for the game side, or are you just going to stick to what Balwyn is known for, which is tough footy? Is that something you're going to do this last quarter?
Yeah, I hope so. We've tried really hard all day. The pressure's been good. It's just their execution's been poor at times. So yeah, we just got to make sure we're desperate. Even though we're trying, you've got to be really composed when you got the ball in hand. So we need a few boys to lift. A few guys have been down. I think the backs have been beaten today, but yeah, we've got to find a way to win this last quarter and obviously win the game.
I'm sure you will, mate. Enjoy the last 30 minutes.
Thanks there to Blake Ten and Jared Beanland. You were at the South Belgrave huddle three-quarter time.
Yeah, thanks, Josh. Christian was pretty optimistic about that third quarter in terms of getting themselves back into the game. He was also wanting the boys to attack the ball a little bit more and just use the handball through the corridor as well. So it sounds like he wants to change up the way that they've been moving the ball a little bit, just to make sure that they take this scalp, as he quoted.
Absolutely. It would be a scalp, Davo, if they were to get over the line in this game.
Without a doubt. And you look at a Balwyn have had 26 shots to 15. So they're only a goal in front. So they've only got themselves to blame with the way they've had a shot. And that's what Sando talked about. First 5 minutes here gives us a bit of an indication of what sort of energy we're going to see around the contest.
How much of a factor will the crowd be out here at Belgrave South? It is a pretty decent crowd for what is their 80th anniversary celebration out here. We're about to find out as umpire holds the ball off to signal the start of the last quarter. Ryan Long.
Yeah, big day for South Belgrave. They trail at three-quarter time by 6 points. Can they come back on a very tough afternoon? A socket off the ground by Durao towards a half-forward line. Wrapped up in the tackle, that time the zone. So 11-4, 70 to 10 to 16, 76 if you've just joined us. Smith and Miller. Smith won it down. Silvani wrapped up by Smith. Got his handball off in time. It's going to come back. McIntyre kick inside 50 to one-on-one. Greaves is there. And sport from behind. That time by Josh Curtis. And across the line it goes. Boundary throw-in. First goal will be crucial here for the Saints. Has been a game with several momentum shifts. Probably owned more of that third term. The ball comes back out. High kick, not 15. Called to play on, of course, was Lloyd. So another ball up. Once again, it's Miller and Smith. Miller in front position, got tapped it down. Stolen away here by the Saints. That was Mazzone. The kick from Balwyn was smothered. Following up good pressure there was Barry with the tackle. Another stoppage.
Another opportunity for South Belgrave. What can they create from this stoppage? It's Tim Smith in ruck. Miller from behind. Tapped it down to the South Belgrave man in Lloyd, who got a flying shot to the left forward pocket and out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. And causing a bit of damage to someone's car as well. And we'll have a boundary throw-in. A minute and 3/4 played here in the final term. South Belgrave pressing. And it is Miller who won that down. Durao couldn't take clean possession. Lamont the outlet. Got it to Chambers. Under immediate pressure from Lloyd. Going to be pinged.
Oh, that's a bit tough. He didn't really have a lot of opportunity. He grabbed the ball and...
he did take a step.
He did take a step, but... Oof.
So
that was just smart tackle. Sorry, Josh.
That's okay. Bailey Lloyd looking to add a second senior goal. Of course, as mentioned, is on Frankston's VFL list, and I think it was a former Eastern Ranger as well. Bit of an angle, but from around about 25 metres out, Lloyd will kick this from. Drifts to the left, but still goes through the big six. All square out here at Belgrave South Recreation Reserve. And it's the first goal of this contest for Bailey Lloyd. 12-4, 76 the Saints. Balwyn 10-16, 76.
Well, did I say that we might get a kick after the siren for a win? I reckon I'm looking okay at the moment. I know we've got a bit of time to go, but look, that's an important goal. You can see the energy from them.
Are you the Oracle today?
Yeah.
Always, mate.
The under-19s game this morning here was won on the siren, 11-8 apiece.
Ooh. So back in the middle it goes again. Is there a quick answer for the Tigers? There's Lever. Handballs it off. Going forward there, Stefanovski.
How is there a winner in 11-8 apiece?
Sorry, yeah, I just realised I had to correct that. A draw.
Inside 50, Tillich came off hands.
Yeah, that made absolutely no sense to me. You can't just leave us hanging like that.
I was waiting for the call.
So we'll get a boundary throwing inside 50. Sorry, I've just blanked out there. I was ignoring you guys as I was following the play. As the ball brought back into play, Tucker tapped down. And across the line it goes. So we'll get another boundary throw in 4 minutes into this last quarter. All tied, 76 apiece. Thanks for joining us on Radio Eastern or Facebook and YouTube.
Now I just feel like you're filling in time so that we don't say absolute rubbish.
Right forward pocket this ball is Yannick the tap down, deflected to Oakes, who is going to get a free kick.
Oh.
Was it a push? The umpire signalling push in the back. And Nathan Oakes has a chance to add his third of this contest and to give Balwyn back the lead.
Got a little wry smile on his face too, Oakes. So I think he's happy to get that free kick.
As he comes in now, and he hits the post. Gee, that's a shank.
Just a little bit too casual with the kick then, wasn't it?
10-17-77 Balwyn, South Belgrave 12-4-76. They still hit the front though to the Tigers at the 5-minute mark of the last quarter.
They've missed some gettable shots today, and the faithful over the other side of the ground enjoyed that one.
They let him know.
Oh, absolutely. His kid, the long kick out of defence came through hands towards the boundary line. Could be a good result here for South Belgrave. Schreiber.
They're probably 20 cans deep, I'd say.
If you have a look at the goalposts, they're painted red, black and white, but the black looks like it's see-through.
It does too, doesn't it?
It would still be the top of over the top of the post, wouldn't it?
Tucker, his kick cut off by Jordovic. Jordovic slams it on the boot towards Tillich. Over the top was Ryan. Lucky not to give away a free kick. Kidd, his handball cut off. Schreiber involved again. This time gets it out to Jordovic. Jordovic back inside 50. Was looking for Oakes.
I really like the way that South Belgrave have adapted their game plan to, also lengthen the game out. But what it's allowed is a bit more free-flowing footy for Balwyn to be able to come in and move the ball forward quite easily. So there should be a couple of goals, both sides, very contested sort of game.
It has, and Jordovic been one of those players who have been impressive. Is this still inside forward 50? Came off the boot of the Tigers. Schreiber, so it'll be a free kick here for the Saints in the back pocket.
Calvin DeRayo. Looks to go a dangerous kick. Jordovic's around this. Flew, couldn't complete the grab. Pappas is there to mop up. Tapped it to his teammate, and Schreiber was locked up immediately by Jack Myers and Sam Muirhead. Myers, his first senior game of the season today, as Tucker won the tap down and took it out of ruck in the process. A tripping free kick found for the Saints, who play on immediately. Hollier dashing through the middle of Belgrave South, heads in the Garner direction, going up against Ned Lamott. Lamott did really well, got the handball over to Isaac Barry. Barry's kick was smothered. DeRayo, who was taking that kick before in the defensive 50, turned it over. Urban got it in the direction of his teammate who was locked up. That was Stefanovski, and applies the tackle again to Alex Urban, right in front of a fair few South Belgrave supporters out there who
they're vociferous.
Yes.
Vociferous, that was your word this morning.
The kite vocal at the moment is Miller, not pinged for holding the ball.
What does that mean?
It has the word voice in it.
So ball up on the far side here. They're getting loud over there as a free kick this time going the way of the Saints, going to Tucker.
Yeah, that was a clear free kick. He didn't even look at the ball when he went up.
They look to play this on straight away in the middle of the ground. The mark is taken by Tyrus Liu. He's looking for the hands off. He points towards the goals. He's a long way out. He's called to play on. Has to put it up towards the top of the square. A lot of Balwyn numbers. Smith was there. Out the back, Silvani. Under a bit of pressure. His handball wasn't the greatest. They may get themselves out of a bit of traffic there. Turned over. Simonson gets through two Tigers. His handball, though, out of bounds.
Just feel like one of those players is going to have a moment. Just Simonson, just Smiths, particularly in that piece of play.
8.5 minutes gone, fourth term. 1 point in it, 10-17, 77 Balwyn, 12-4, 76 South Belgrave. We're just on the edge of the South Belgrave forward 50. Schreiber off the boot, straight into Tucker. Back under this one again is Urban, who's been everywhere. In and under. Get another stoppage.
It's been interesting watching Schreiber's game today, playing a different role, having to be in the midfield there.
Still been prominent as Tucker won it down. DeRayo runs onto it under immediate pressure. Umpire calls for it.
Former media manager Matt Foddy must be around. The lights have come on.
Yeah, they actually have out here at Belgrave South. It is starting to get a little bit darker as DeRayo got the handball allowed, not to his intended target. Schreiber read it best. Lou read Schreiber's handball as well. Goes to the hot spot where Smith is, but was outmarked in the end for Ben Silvani, who goes out wide. Kick was spoiled by Kai Windsor, who's also had his moments today. Kicked the one goal as well. The brother of Caleb. And forces a boundary throw in. Still an attack for South Belgrave. They trail by a point in this contest at the 9.5 minute mark of the final term. Miller up against Lou. It's Miller who took it out of ruck. Lou immediately wrapped him up. Another forward 50 stoppage for the Saints, or thereabouts. A big opportunity here for them to hit the front for the first time in what would be a while since the second quarter. As Urban's locked up by Griffith Julian.
He's done an enormous job, hasn't he, Urban? He's just been at the bottom of everything.
Man, absolutely everywhere. Schreiber, his kick was affected. Now Urban on cue, sends this one out of defence, slipped through the hands of Boyd. Muirhead's given away a free kick in the back. It's a Boyd now for the Tigers. Can they get something going? Lead this game by a point. It's been a long time since they've kicked a goal. Have not kicked a goal in this second half. As that ball goes out of bounds, they've kicked 0 goals 7 since half-time. As they're on the far side of this ground, 10 coming up to 11 minutes gone, fourth term. The Saints with the only goal in this final quarter. Tucker and Boyd. Boyd wins out, did well. Handball to Schreiber. Schreiber inside 50. Oakes wanted the free kick, nothing called. Boyd again involved. And this time, has earned himself a free kick, so the Tigers...
Grabbed by the leg, I
Yeah,
think.
he was legged.
Yeah.
I think it was accidental, though. He was just trying to grab the ball. It just happened to be his legs were around the ball.
And Oakes made it clear that he wanted the free kick from earlier to the umpire, even though it's in the hands of his teammate Boyd. And this is a big kick. They've been very inaccurate on their set shots this afternoon. And Boyd kicked 2 early goals in this game. He's a reliable kick. He'll be kicking from about 45 metres out. Jack Boyd for a handy goal for the Tigers. This one stays right. It's a minor score, so 10-18, 78 to South Belgrave, 12-4, 76. If they lose this game, they can only blame themselves.
And if they lose this game, they'd have a losing record as well, as the kick-in went to McIntyre, took the grab. I say that because it's rare that Balwyn do have a losing record as well during a season, as McIntyre sold the candy on Chambers. Got the kick away to the right half forward flank, right in front of us where Lou outbodied Josh Pollock's got the ball out the back, searching for Smith, up against Silvani. Silvani did really well, but the kick wasn't the greatest. McIntyre's there again. Umpire calls play on despite protests for a high free kick. He is gone, is Hollier. Caleb Jordovic coming up big. Goes long inside forward 50 in the Nathan Oakes direction. Got a donkey kick to Obi Chambers, who broke a tackle. Got it to Schreiber, dribbling ball. Will the bounce favour him? It's still kept in. Apostolou was there. He somehow got it away. I think that's a goal from Ryan Apostolou. Or is there a free kick? Is there a free kick?
No, he's going to consult.
I think it's a goal.
Free kick, I think.
I think it's a goal.
Oh,
We've just got this up on the replay. It's a goal! Apostolou with something out of nothing.
Well, that was a classic case of Muirhead looking to see what he was going to do with the ball before he actually had the ball. He just took his eyes off it for that fraction, made the fumble, and it's hurt him.
And that's well and truly the Tobin Brothers goal of the day contender.
Yeah, well,
From an inch.
There's been a couple of really good goals today.
Yeah, they have.
And they did need it because they've blown a few chances in the second half. And they just get that one through and just gives them a little bit of breathing room. Back to 8 points, still not over yet. 13 and a half minutes gone, final term. Can South Belgrave get the response? Back in the middle it goes again. It's Lever with the handball. Was looking for Lamont, went backwards. Wise can pick it up. Wrapped up by Greaves. Great tackle.
Well, they've got a spare down there in the back now as well. So obviously they're going to be trying to maintain possession and lead as much as they can.
Looks like Josh Pollux is playing that loose man.
Tucker in the ruck has given away a free kick. So the Tigers, who lead this game by 8 points, 11-18-84 to 12-4-76, now have possession of the football on the wing. The target there was Carlin. Saints have held this up. Simonson with the tackle on Lever.
They're dragging the Saints players out, but the Saints still look like they want to play that really congested, small ground style of footy.
Tapped down again by Tucker. Simonson involved once again. The handball over the top. The Greaves slipped over. Across the boundary line. Lamont keeps this one in for the Tigers. Kicking towards the middle of the ground. This is a big ball to be won here. Came off hands. Grabbing it first here to the Tigers. The handball cut off by Liam Kidd. Bit of a scrappy play here as Braden Ryan ends up with it and sends it inside 50. Overdid the kick and Pollux out the back takes the mark.
On this broadcast side, tells his teammates, I'm looking to slow the tempo down, and rightfully so. They hold an 8-point lead at the 15-minute mark of this last quarter. Goes to this broadcast side wing where there's a big pack. South Belgrave have the numbers out the back. Hollier dishes off the handball, and it was a good one to Windsor. Windsor with the dabbing ball. Found Griffith Julian. Julian signals that he's going long in the Tim Smith direction. Up against two. McDermott was there on the ground. Smith trying to barge his way through again. Locked up.
So one of the issues I've got at the moment is that they're going for Smith. It's 3-on-1. Where are the other South Belgrave players? Because their small forwards have been non-existent for quite a while now.
They're pushing up into the contest.
Yeah.
As this ball once again locked up. They need someone like a Zach Greaves to step up, as mentioned, Blake.
Just a quick magnet change that I've also noticed as well. Jimmy Miller.
As DeRayo gets the shot on goal! And a much-needed one for the Saints. 13-4-82, South Belgrave to Balwyn 11-18-84. Sorry to cut you off there, Blake, at the 16-minute mark of the last quarter.
He did that read that well. He read that really well.
Josh, you get excited with goals, but Jimmy Miller, just watch out for this one. I think he's going to go deep full forward, send him in the ruck, send him in the back, so that's a good magnet change, I reckon, by Sando.
So there we go. That's the response they needed. Still in this game, 13-4-82 to 11-18-84. Balwyn leading, 16.5 minutes gone, final term on a big day for South Belgrave, celebrating 80 years. Tucker with the tap down. Going nowhere in the middle. That man who just kicked the last goal.
What a combination that is as well. Tucker and DeRayo in midfield.
Yeah, it's a pretty handy midfield combo as Urban involved again. It's the Saints. Greaves tried to go off the ground, missed it. Picked up that time by Grant, wrapped up in the tackle.
Greaves looks like he's playing as a fifth midfielder at the moment as well, which creates a bit more space in the forward line for South Belgrave.
Once again, Tucker. DeRayo, quick hands. Did he get rid of it, Julian? Umpire said yes. Ball comes back. McIntyre takes a mark here for South Belgrave. He'll send them back into attack. Long kick was in the direction of Smith. Got Silvani to beat, and he's given away a free kick. Wasn't the best delivery for him.
Played that well, though.
Silvani's done very well since Smith kicked 2 in the third term. Since then, he's been very good in these one-on-ones. Back out for the Tigers. Big tackle right in front of us, broadcast side.
Between wing and half forward for South Belgrave. Again, prime view of this stoppage for us as Tucker won it down. Urban the handball. It gets out to Lever. Lever's got Marshall on the runway. The kick under pressure is in the Miller direction, who took the one-handed grab. In fact, that was Jack Tillig. And an opportunity for Balwyn to go inside forward 50 at worst.
He might run around here and have a go at this.
Tough angle from outside the arc for Tillig. Back in for his first game of season 2026, the leading goal kicker last year for the Tigers.
He's had a great game.
He has had a solid game as he comes in. Doesn't go around the mark. It still might get there. It does! Tillich extends Balwyn's advantage back out to 8 points. 12-18-90 to South Belgrave, 13-4-82.
That is a big kick from there.
Well, particularly when a day that they have been very inaccurate in front of goal, to kick that from outside 50, tough angle. And boy, have they missed him this season, Jack Tillich. And when they lose more players from last weekend, to get him back into the side has just been huge.
And remembering it's his first game for the year, so he's, he's been coming on in and off the bench. So he's done a great job.
One of my favourite players to watch as we're back in the middle again. South Belgrave still going to need a couple of goals here if they're going to pinch this one. Handball forward by Grant. Turned over, Schreiber off to McDermott. Dodges through traffic. McDermott inside 50. It's a high free kick. And it's coming back. So McDermott, even though Balwyn were pretty keen on getting the advantage, it's going to come back towards the middle of the ground. Lee McDermott. So they're 8 points in front. Almost 20 minutes gone in this final term. McDermott inside 50. What a mark by Boyd. And Jack Boyd, who's had a mixed bag, kicked a couple, missed a couple. Another gettable shot for him.
The old classic comment, those big blokes don't get any shorter as the game goes further.
Yes.
And to be honest, South are starting to look quite tired.
So Jack Boyd, to put this out to 14 points, just about sealed the game. He's put it through, and that will make it very tough for South Belgrave. It's not over yet, but a 14-point lead late in this final quarter has got Balwyn in control.
He had a quiet third, I'm pretty sure, so I just sort of forgot about him, but just popping up yet again, just thinking about my votes for the end of the game, because he had a very good first half as well.
He did. Yeah, it's goal number 3 for him. 13-18-96 Balwyn, 13-4-82 South Belgrave. 21 minutes gone, Josh.
3-2 he's kicked today, I believe, Jack Boyd, so missed a couple of opportunities as well.
Been prominent in the forward line, though.
Certainly has, as Tucker won that down, running into his own teammate there was Julian. Turned it over to McDermott. The Tigers starting to make their move. The spoil came in. It fell to Kidd. It goes to the far side wing. Barry in good position under duress there from Bailey Lloyd and escorted out of bounds. Again in front of the South Belgrave faithful. On that far side of Belgrave South Recreation Reserve, bang on centre wing as Tucker and Yannikadakis go up in ruck. Tucker won it down. Read best by the Tigers, who dish it off to Lever. Lever back to McDermott to Boyd. Umpire called play on, couldn't complete the grab despite some pressure. Still spills out to Stevanovski. Goes for goal, misses to the right. Would have been a great effort and another contender for the Tobin brothers goal of the day. But a minor is the result. 13-19-97 Balwyn plays South Belgrave. 13-4-82 at the 22-minute mark.
15-point lead for the Tigers as Kidd just sends a long kick in towards the middle of the ground. Great mark by Clay Tucker. Got the hands off straight away and they go towards it. Their forward 50 over the top. Lou applied the pressure on Pollux. Pollux clearing kick. They wanted holding the ball. Weren't going to get it with South Belgrave. Handball kept in play. Windsor was looking for Dureo. Keeps this alive inside 50. Must kick the next one very soon if there any chance of pulling off a late comeback. An entertaining clash out here at Belgrave South Recreation Reserve. Balwyn's first time playing here for senior points. And it's a win both sides are desperate to have in the early stages of this season, round 5. McIntyre wrapped up by McDermott, who's been good in this final term.
He certainly has, been very good around the contest.
So 23 minutes gone. On the edge of the forward 50 here for South Belgrave. Smith up in the ruck. Ball comes back down. Wrapped up in the tackle, doing well.
The umpire will call for it. The tackle applied there on Bailey Lloyd. Again, what can South Belgrave create? Nothing from that piece of play.
Balwyn will be pretty happy about this.
I was going to
This
say
is exactly what they want.
I was going to say, managing time well are the Tigers, leading by 15 points. South Belgrave need 3 goals if they are to pull off a miracle on their 80th anniversary as the ball dribbles out of bounds for a boundary throw-in.
They just can't get the ball in their hands cleanly at the moment.
That's credit to the Balwyn midfield and their defence as well. Despite Tucker winning the majority of the hit-outs, they've still done really well as Yannick Adakas, I think, won that tap down. Mazzone, was he held without it? He was. So he has to take this quickly, Roger Mazzone, and he knows that. If he kicks this goal, the deficit is reduced to 9 points. We've played 24 minutes. This quarter might not go for too long. He hasn't kicked a goal today as one of a few premiership players in this lineup for South Belgrave. A little bit of an angle, 35 metres out, he'll kick from, drifts to the right. It might go out of bounds on the full, it does. So a missed opportunity there for South Belgrave, and Josh Pollux will take this free kick. In defensive 50, lateral to Ben Silvani at the right back pockets. Goes down the line. South Belgrave should have the numbers. It's Windsor who couldn't complete the grab. Lever under pressure from Kidd, who kept it in play. McDermott applies the tackle on Mazzone. In fact, that was Simonson, and ball will be locked up.
25 minutes gone, final term. Balwyn with a 15-point lead, just about home now. Miller out of the ruck, caught for holding the ball, took him on, and South Belgrave got to make the most of this inside 50. Got to get a goal out of this. Long kick towards their target of Lou, who takes the grab. To state the absolute obvious, this has to go through. And even then, they've still got to kick another 2. But Tyrese Lou back in the side today to get the margin back to 9 points. Lou comes in and has put it through. Is there still time? 14-4-88 to 13-19-97. Get a centre clearance here.
I reckon there's probably about 3 minutes left. If you have a look at the time that's been going on, we've been aiming for about 30 minutes. So I'd say there's probably 3 minutes left.
Last quarter did go for about 28 minutes, and there were only a couple of goals kicked. So
probably not as many scoring opportunities here at all, though. So I don't even have many behinds.
It'll be a 31.
Tucker's going to have to pump the ball forward.
It'll be a 31-minute quarter, I reckon.
As ball's tossed back up. Miller won that tap down to Schreiber. Stripped of it from Doreo. Still picked it up. Doreo under a bit of applies some pressure as he forces the turnover. Muirhead dished off the handball to Evans. Evans' handball was an errand one. Balwyn have the numbers. Apostolou inside forward 50. Boyd in a one-on-one. McIntyre did well. Dragged it in. In fact, that was Oaks. Umpire will call for it.
You had to kick the football where he was, that boy then. Had to get the ball forward quickly and not a handball turnover.
Tucker from behind won the tap down. The handball dished off to McIntyre. McIntyre to Doreo. Doreo to Windsor. They have to get this inside forward 50. Do the Saints. Simonson heads in that direction. Lloyd and Smith are there, but so is Pollux. The brick wall in defence took the grab.
Yeah, big mark for the Tigers. Right on time as the siren sounds. They've done enough, Balwyn. 13-19-97, defeating South Belgrave 14-4-88. A 9-point win for the Tigers. They're undermanned. They've come here and had to do it tough. They missed a lot of opportunities on the scoreboard, but a well fought out win for Balwyn. And a crucial one for them is they stay on the winning ledger.
They certainly do, and I mean, they had to fight hard, particularly in that second quarter, Davo and Emily, where they were under immediate pressure from South Belgrave, particularly midway through, but credit to their leaders. And during the second half as well, they were under a lot of pressure as well, but they still got over the line.
Yeah, look, they've had 32 scoring opportunities to 18, so they've certainly had their chances. They took a few towards the end. But I think it was their midfield that probably stood up a little bit there towards the end. They just were a little bit calmer. I must admit, when Smith kicked a couple of goals, I was really worried. But to Silvani's credit, he was fantastic
Yeah, he
in that
was.
last quarter and a half, wasn't he? His
Yeah.
ability to stop,
Boundary.
control.
We'll
and
go down to the
do some
boundary as
great
well
work.
because we've got Jack Tillig and Alex Urban down there with our boundary boys.
Thanks, Ryan. Alex, that was such a hard-fought game, mate. New kids on the block, South Belgrave. How does it feel to get a win over these guys?
Yeah, look, we didn't make it easy for ourselves. It was 19 behind, so we had a lot of forward 50 entries, but we just couldn't take count of them and make our most of the opportunities. But look, we fought hard. I'm proud of the boys. Yeah, we are a young team and showed a bit of maturity and fought hard and got the win. So yeah, take the 4 points.
And a lot of new blokes slotting in over the past few games. How did you see a few of their games today?
Yeah, I thought, Hollywood, Lee McDermott, he's having a great year, so I thought he was awesome again. And then Isaac Barry, he's just come back from injuries. He's a good addition to us. I thought he was really good. And then a couple of the other young boys, it's just got a lot of young talent now, so it's time for them to step up, and they did today, which was good.
Jack Tillig, the finisher, they call you down here at Balwyn, but 2 goals today in your first game back from a foot injury. How good's this?
Mate, it's very good. Cheers to South Belgrave. Put on a great. I think they got their 80th reunion or something today, so it was a good atmosphere out here. It was a great trip. And, it's awesome. We got a good list this year. We had a couple tough losses at the start of the year, but we're ready to bounce back.
Go for a walk, mate. But Pat, I just want to talk about what is this Balwyn side? You were down and out, lost to Vermont in a shock twist last week, and to come here against South Belgrave, being okay in Premier from winning it last year. What is this Balwyn side?
Mate, we've just like I touched on before the grand final last year. We're just such good mates. So all the it's constructive criticism. We all take it. And we take it in our stride. Then we come back and we bounce back next week. So we've got a couple key ins to come in over the next couple of weeks, and we're going to be right around the friggin' mark again at the end of the year. So we're going to be good.
And the drive as well, an hour. But the main question I want to ask you is, where's your premiership medallion? You text me in the off season, and can you just follow us up on on this story that's transpiring?
Mate, the premiership medallion. He didn't get back to me. He said the boy was going to hook me up with another one, but hopefully, I'm not too sure where it is. I think it might be the levers, but fingers crossed, we've got another one end of this year.
No worries, enjoy, mate.
We will. We can. I'm sure we can sort him out and get him a new medal. We're still on to that, but great work and great to see him back out there. Two of the key performers today for the Tigers. As we'll see if the boys can get down to the rooms to get the song, thanks to Tobin Brothers Funerals, Celebrating Lives. But a big win here for Balwyn, 13-19, 97 to 14-488. We talked, and so did Urban, about them probably making it hard on themselves in terms of their opportunities in front of goal. We've also got our awards, which we'll get to after our break. We've got the Tobin Brothers Goal of the Day. We've got the Cryo Stay Young Eastland Best on Ground Award as well. But in the end, I think the better side did win. I think Balwyn potentially could have won this game by a little bit more. I know that's stating a little bit the obvious with the amount of scoring shots more they had today. But a really, really entertaining clash between the two sides.
That would have taken a lot of learnings. We might try to get the song here. Do we have any signal, Lee? Or as there is something coming through, the song, I think, brought to you by Tobin Brothers Funerals.
Yeah, as for why the clubhouses are always so far away from us, that just astounds me.
The songs coming in, songs coming in and out. So do we want to? We might keep on going shortly, and we might try to go to a break shortly as well. In fact, we will go to a break now for the Eastland match of the round, the final one, and the final score out here. Balwyn 13-19-97, defeating South Belgrave 14-488.
As Sarah opened her best friend Jackie's wedding invitation, she was overcome with a wave of emotion. While her two young boys wrestled on the floor, tears of happiness rolled down Sarah's cheeks as she saw the words she'd been longing to see. Please note, this wedding will be a child-free event. Well, Sarah, looks like we're off to Eastland for a new frock and some heels. And let's book in that babysitter. For all of life's little moments, there's Eastland. Eastland. Live real.
Sprained your ankle bursting through the banner? Broke a finger high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs, and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
The one thing that puts a smile on my face is my kids.
The sun shining through the clouds, even in winter, absolutely puts the biggest smile on my face.
Seeing delicious food on the table ready for me when I get home.
One thing that always puts a smile on my face is seeing my family.
The thing that puts a smile on my face every time is really good music.
Just the simple pleasures in life.
Be remembered for the greatest moments in your life. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time, or show time, to 4 minutes can save you an average of $200 a year on water and energy bills. Shower shorter. Save water. Authorised by the Victorian Government, 1 Treasury Place, Melbourne.
Sprained your ankle bursting through the banner? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. You'll generally experience shorter wait times. Knox Private 24/7 Emergency, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
You are listening to Radio Eastern FM 98.1.
With live and exclusive coverage of the EFNL football season, bringing you the match of the day with score updates from all divisions.
And now we cross to our commentary team for the Radio Eastern 98.1 Match of the Day coverage.
Yes, welcome back to Belgrave South Recreation Reserve, and it is full time here. The Tigers winning by 9 points, 13-19-97 to South Belgrave, 14-4-88. A hard-fought win. Very undermanned Tigers side, which we've mentioned a few times today. A lot of guys out of that side that they'll certainly hope to have back if they are to progress to another final series this year and have a real crack at the flag. But 4 points is big with this very young list, and I think they'll be pretty happy to walk away with the 4 points, even though they probably made it quite hard on themselves. Of course, we've got our awards to give out. We've got the Tobin Brothers Goal of the Day. We've got the Cryo Stay Young Eastland Best on Ground. Let's start with the Tobin Brothers Goal of the Day. Now, there was quite a few. Apostle made it, that one off the ground, which barely got a foot to it, but was a bit of sort of the drought breaker. I think they
Jordovic for me. I think Jordovic for me.
Jordovic's goal was pretty good.
You can also make a case for Sam Pappas as well.
Yeah, I had Pappas.
Ben McIntyre's goal was also good in the first quarter, but
Davo, what's your thoughts? We've got about 40 different names.
I thought young Pappas. I thought it was a really good
first
goal.
game. Yeah. I reckon we're going to come on. Look, we've got to be nice here.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Pappas.
First goal as well.
Pappas.
Yeah, Pappas.
All those in favour.
We'll say aye.
No, I'm just making the executive decision.
Tobin Brothers Goal of the Day Award, Sam Pappas, congratulations. Our 3-2-1 for the Cryo Stay Young Eastland. Now, who's tracking the votes?
I'm keeping an eye.
Hang on, Blake only wants to track votes because I uploaded a reel on Instagram and he got a bit of love on that, and he just wants a little bit more attention, so he's not doing the votes.
This has been a mockery with no one being able to track it properly.
Okay.
Oh, come on, Jared.
No, Brian, you're the media manager. You're the smart man.
I don't have to do that. That's why.
No, he doesn't want to embarrass himself in front of the camera.
Well, we'll go again. We'll
do it yourself.
We'll test we'll test your work, Blake. You can do it. Josh can keep track
beautiful.
as well.
Here we go.
I'll start us off. I had quite a few I've got my 3 votes locked in, but the 1 and 2 I switched around. And I'm actually going to go with two of the defenders, and I'm going to go 1 to Lee McDermott. I thought he was really impressive, particularly late in the game. I'm giving 2 to Ben Silvani. After that, Smith kicked his second in that third term. he really, I think, after that, owned that one-on-one battle and defensively was really, really strong. I think he played a pivotal role in Balwyn holding strong in that second half. And I thought 3 votes. I thought for pretty much the entire game, Alex Urban was just absolutely everywhere. Was in and under every contest. So many clearances for the Tiger deputy skipper at the moment with Bolin Smith out of the side. And I think when you look at the amount of players out and a lot of the young players in, I thought he was the key, the experienced player who stood up, and that's why I've given him my 3 votes.
Well, you've gone my 3 and 2 votes. I've gone Urban for 3 and Ben Silvani 2, so nice to know that you're looking at most of my votes.
I did not even look at yours.
Well, that's a first. You always look at Davo's votes.
Yeah. And I gave Calvin Dureo 1 vote as well. I thought he was pretty good and one of the more cleaner players for South Belgrave. So that's my 3-2-1, Davo.
Apologies to Calvin Dureo and apologies to Ben Silvani because I thought they were both fantastic. I've gone 1 vote to Jack Boyd. I thought he was probably the one forward that was trouble with the opposition the entire day. He's kicked 3-2 and he's taken mark after mark up there, so I thought I'd given him 1 vote. I've given 2 votes to Clay Tucker. I thought he dominated the ruck. I thought his ability to control that area was really good, took some good marks around the ground, and I've given 3 votes to Alex Urban because we talked about a leader standing up, and when they needed someone to actually stand up in that area, while he may not have got a huge amount of possessions, it was his attack on the contest. His voice was fantastic, and I really enjoyed his game. But that's the toughest 3-2-1 I've had to do for a long time.
Unless something happens here, I can't see Urban losing the player of the game because he's on 12 votes at the moment.
You're calling early there.
Yeah.
Well, you haven't seen Em yet. She's given 6 votes to one person.
Sorry, she's on 9. Sorry, I just reviewed mine. Oops.
My God. So, Blake, I need you to pay attention for this one because I didn't do a 3-2-1.
Well, you got to do a 3-2-1.
I don't care. Don't give me that sass. I got 6 votes. And
you can't do 6. I'm sorry. You can say it.
No.
I'll let you say it.
Will ya?
Yeah.
Stiff shit. They're getting added. I couldn't find a 3. I thought that there was just too many, so many consistent players across the ground that there was no real standout. So I've given 1 to Smith for playing all across the ground very, very well, even including jumping into ruck. Tucker got 2 for his ruck work and also just the the intercept marks in the back line and playing that spare man down back. I gave Pappas 2 as well.
Yep.
Keeping up, Blake.
Well,
don't. You're writing them down.
4, 5, 6 is what I'm going for here.
So Pappas got 2. I think that was a really, really great debut from him. Very consistent, really good running patterns off the ball as well. And then I wanted to give 1 to Silvani. So there's no 3. I split up the 3 to another 2 and a 1. There's 6 votes in total.
You made it really confusing, but that's okay.
Well, if you had just listened and I did give you that warning, then we would be all good.
Okay.
So it's 1 to Smith, 2 to Tucker, 2 to Pappas, and 1 to Silvani.
Okay. Yep.
Thank you.
No worries. Do you want me to go?
Yes.
Okay.
We appreciate your opinion when it comes to who you've given the 3-2-1 to.
I'm going Blake Simonson 1 vote. I thought he was pretty solid for South Belgrave considering kicked 3 goals. I thought he was okay. Box Hill Hawks listed. I've gone 2 votes to Tim Smith. I thought he was just a workman-like sort of player. As we get the lights going here, the lights are on, sir. And I thought, 3 votes for Urban, definitely.
Spider, we've got Spider back from half-time. Matt Spider Lee, your 3-2-1.
Yeah, tough day for the votes. Got to admire Emily's thinking about doing it in the best and fairest way because I reckon there was a lot of players that could have got votes. But I've gone this way. I think 1 vote, Clay Tucker. I thought he was superb in the ruck. Thought he really, when he needed to step up at times throughout the day, he did. Really, that Julian Miller was an interesting one right throughout the course of the afternoon. 2 votes. I liked Schreiber's game. I thought he was very good. Gave him a lot of link up, with their transition. I thought he was very important in the midfield, particularly in the late in the second term, and across the third term, and in the last quarter had some really good moments. But I think the most influential player on the ground today, without question, is Alex Urban.
So I think he's walked away with the voucher.
Well, we've got Jared as well, just to give you a 1, 2, 3 as well before we announce the official winner.
Well, we can divide our 6 votes equally as much as we want. So technically, I could give 0.136 to every single player on the ground, but I'm not going to do that.
Well, done the maths.
It's on my calculator.
Yeah, maths is not my strength, so you got me there, Jared.
Well, I've got a calculator on my phone. Usually, I would give points to Schreiber. I usually love his game. Just missed out this time. I've given 1 to Ben Silvani, given 2 to Ned Lamont. I thought his disposal in the second quarter was excellent. And Alex Urban running away with this.
All right, congratulations to Alex Urban, the winner of the Crow Stay Young Eastland Best On Ground Award. We've got that to give out to him. We've got the Tobin Brothers Goal of the Day, Sam Pappas, and I think Blake's going to volunteer to head down to the Balwyn rooms and give those ones out. We've still got plenty of time. What we're going to do, we're going to go through the results around the grounds first, and we'll start with the other games in Premier Division. Roval defeated Blackburn by 45 points, 12-8-80 to 4-11-35.
That sets up next week, doesn't it?
1v2 as the sign. I haven't got it in the car, so just show the. Thank you, Blake. South Croydon versus Doncaster East. The Lions 12-14-86 to 8-7-55 South Croydon. That game's still going, but that's going to be another win for the Lions. So the Lions remain undefeated. South Croydon still yet to get a win in 2026. Berwick and East Ringwood, competitive game out there. The Wickers pushed them today, 11-15-81 to East Ringwood, 14-12-96. Again, good signs for Berwick. But East Ringwood remained undefeated. Of course, you had this game here with Balwyn winning by 9 points, and then Vermont defeating Noble Park by 5 points. So they hold on there, 11-12-78 to 10-13-73. Now we'll jump into Division 1. There was a couple of interesting results that we're keeping track of today. Park Orchards have done a number on Mitcham, 22-15, 147 to the Tigers, 15-6, 96. Saying that, Mitcham had quite a few outs this weekend, including their skipper and Jesse Uren. Wanturna South North Ringwood, the Saints are overcome a little bit of a slow start to win by 26 points, 11-9, 75 to 6-13, 49 Wanturna South. So Wanturna South, they have their first loss of the season. I believe that means everyone's had at least one loss in the division. Moving along, Beaconsfield winners at Heights Reserve, 10-12-72 to 7-12-54. Mooroolbark, great win there for the Eagles. They're on the board with their first of the season. Montrose have defeated Norwood, 21-13, 139 to 13-9-87. I can see that's why he hasn't left yet.
Just a good win. They needed that after.
Oh, he just comes back.
Mike drops out.
These blokes are waiting for their awards.
And he's hanging around.
I would have.
They beat Norwood.
I would have. I would have skipped the game if I knew he was waiting there.
They conceded Norwood's largest score of the season as well.
Yes. Boronia, credit to Bayswater here, had a real crack against Boronia today. Boronia still win 14-10-94 to 10-6-66 Bayswater, but a much better performance from Bayswater. They're probably their best performance of the season. Yeah. So credit to them. Ben White, the new senior coach for the rest of the season. Moving into Division 2, Mulgrave big winners over Heathmont, 18-18, 126 to Heathmont, 10-13, 73. Croydon have had a big finish to this game and put Ringwood in a bit of strife. Croydon 10-14, 74 to Ringwood, 7-7, 49. The Blues, what a start to the season. They have a big list turnover over the off-season, Josh, and they're fourth.
They're fourth on the table. Mulgrave are top as well after that big victory.
Well, there you go. So the Blues, good to see them up and about at the moment. Scoresby, their woes continue. Waverley Blues give them a 17-point loss. They're back after a big bad performance last week against Mulgrave. They win 12-10, 82 to 9-11, 65 Scoresby. Surrey Park, 43-point winners over East Burwood, 16-7, 103 to 8-12, 60. And Lilydale, a big upset out at the Templestowe Reserve. 12-5-77 Lilydale to Templestowe, 6-10-46. That's a big result. Spider, do you see that one coming? I didn't.
No, that means there's only one person remaining in the Survivor.
Yeah, Survivor tipping comp. Congratulations, you've won that. You're the last person standing with the certainty tips.
Great idea.
For the next 18 weeks.
Yes, well, yeah, you get to keep playing by yourself. That's it.
A great idea for you to bring this in this season.
Yeah, well, last time we played that game. Ferntree Gully over the line for their first win of the season, 11-15-81 to 10-16-76 Whitehorse. Knox, 37-point winners over Coldstream, 12-15-87 to the Cougars, 7-8-50. Sylvan have defeated the Basin at Batterham, 6-11-47 to 6-7-43 the Bears. That's a interesting result down there at Batterham.
That would have been a fun game to watch.
Well, I mean, low-scoring game, but the Cats, to their credit, that's 2 road wins they've been able to pick up in the early part of the season.
Away team wins at all the small grounds.
Yeah, well, that's
they wanted a pretty big ground at Wally Chew earlier this season, so. But you're right.
Upper Ferntree Gully, 128-point win over Oakley District, 24-21-64 to 5-6-36 Oakley. Let's have a look at the 3 games in Division 4. Croydon North Emlock, 19-18-132, defeating Forest Hill 15-10-100. So the Zebras cracked the ton there. Big result out of Coonung for Warrandyte, 30 goals, 25, 205 to Nuttawading, 3-6-24. And Fair Park, they hold on by 4 points, 11-11-77 to 10-13-73 Kilsyth. Big win there for the Lions. Spider, I might throw it to you. Across all 5 divisions today, what strikes your interest out of those results that have come through, if there's one in particular?
I think you got to look at that Sylvan result. I think them winning away from home against the Basin, who we've had big thoughts on throughout the early part of the season. I think that's a massive step forward for Sylvan to get those 2 wins on the road early in the season. I think they're really setting themselves up for a really good opportunity, particularly in the second half of the year, knowing that they've won a couple on the road. We know they're good at home. Now they've just got to keep that consistency going.
I think Lilydale at Templestowe's got to be the game, doesn't it? I don't think, as we said before, if it was Lilydale at Lilydale, you would have gone, yeah, they're a chance.
Yeah.
But, gee whiz, to beat them at Templestowe and as easy as they did, that is a sensational victory for that club.
Early in the season, is that the turn up of the season so far? It's massive because
it's a big upset in the. No one thought Lilydale was going to be competitive. We all thought bottom 2 at best.
Yeah.
But they've really put their hard work in over the last couple of weeks with 2 away wins, and I think that's the thing about what that win is all about.
Well, that's key, isn't it?
And Croydon as well.
Yep.
I think we had them in bottom 2, so you got to give them credit also.
And Mulgrave have now said to everybody, well, everyone talked about Templestowe and Surrey Park and who's left. Well, now left them above them and gone top of the ladder. So they're and they've played Templestowe, I think.
Yeah, and lost to them as well. It'll be interesting. They meet Surrey Park in 2 weeks' time in round 7. That's a big game. That's a good contest between 2 sides who know how to attack, in a Surrey Park side that somewhat found some form this past weekend and in the Lee Ward Cup as well, Spider.
Yeah, didn't think Surrey were going to have too much trouble today, but East Perth got some concerns, I think, at the moment, just inability to kick goals.
So I think the game for me that caught my eye the most, other than a couple of the ones that you've mentioned, Park Orchards against Mitcham. That is a big win for the Sharks at Dominique. Yes, a lot out for Mitcham. Could give a bit of a mental edge in the battles to come in the future for the Sharks, and I just think that's a huge statement by Park Orchards. They were, I wouldn't say going through the motions, but they hadn't hit their top gear throughout the start of the season, and now we can really look at them and say, okay, they are absolutely a contender.
Well, it also makes, with Wantirna South's loss to North Ringwood, the top 5, interestingly enough, after 5 rounds, all sit with a record of 4-1. Which is quite rare, so that's a interesting little stat there with the ladder after 5 rounds. I think this is a very, very even competition in Division 1. And, of course, in Premier Division, when you look at East Ringwood and Roval, particularly Roval's win over Blackburn, that really does set up a massive clash next week out at East Ringwood Reserve, where the Roos will will host the Hawks, and they've had some good games over the years, Spider, and I think this one's going to be just as big.
Yeah, you're going to shape up to be a really big one. East Ringwood doing really good things, but Roval, they are really going extremely well week after week. An solid win against Blackburn, who have been a little bit disappointing, and their form has been a little bit inconsistent in the first few months of the season.
Yeah, it has, and they actually dropped to 6 if you look at the ladder now. Doncaster East, Roval and East Ringwood all undefeated, and then Balwyn's win today over South Belgrave moves them back into 4th position, Berwick 5th. And I think that's why, Spider, when you look at a win like this, undermanned, bit of a banana peel slip game when you look at it, and it's obviously a big day for South Belgrave. So just to be able to walk away with 4 points, I think it's an underrated win, which we might look at the end of the season as a real big result for them.
Yeah, I think so. I think Brendan Sanderson would have taken a lot away from this game, and he spoke about that prior to the game in that interview that we had with him, talking about just finding ways today to get the job done and giving those younger players, exposing them to senior footy today. And some of those younger players, they really stepped up to the level throughout the course of the afternoon, so it's full credit to them.
And that was credit to their experienced players as well to help guide the way, like a Pollux and Alex Urban.
Yeah, certainly right. And we're going to start to wrap things up here. Spider, I'll start with you. Great to have you on pre-game and half-time, and we're actually going to hear from you tomorrow because you'll be jumping on the EFNL Sunday Weekend Recovery podcast.
Yeah, looking forward to it, talking through all the games and in full detail, but it was great to be out here today and experience South Belgrave and Balwyn, and what a great setup they've got out here at South Belgrave Recreation Reserve, but looking forward to tomorrow morning.
Yeah, certainly right. We've got our two boundary riders who are fiddling around with mics at the moment. Blake, great to have you out here at Belgrave South, and what's on for tonight, mate?
Nothing planned.
Montrose Disco.
That was a couple of weeks ago, Spider.
Sure you're not going out to Ringwood somewhere?
Nah, nothing planned, but I think one of the boys did have their milestone game, so maybe down there.
There you go. Jared Benlin, great to have you on a Saturday arvo.
Yeah, thank you very much. It was lovely being so close to the box this time. Usually so far away from you guys if I'm on the boundary.
Yeah, it's certainly a little bit of a different view for you guys on the boundary this afternoon. Emily Mackay, great to have you back this weekend. Had the obviously last week you were away, so great to have you back in the box doing the special comments today. Fantastic job.
Yeah, thank you. It was just a pleasure as always.
And same with Brett Davidson. Great to have you again on a Saturday.
Yeah, look, really enjoyed it. Great game of footy, and nice being up here. It does have that country feel to it. You've got the kids on the ground. It's fantastic. So I'm going to enjoy the 47-minute drive home.
47
minutes
47? Really? Where do you live?
I live out in Blackburn, so it's a long way to get to there.
I rate this. This was 18 minutes from my house.
I'm only 27 minutes away. So
okay, well,
there you go.
It took me 3 hours to get in and set the van up yesterday.
Josh Ward, great to have you alongside me on the calling chair. Did a fantastic job hosting pre-game, hosting yesterday the podcast. Doing a good job, mate.
Yeah, well, unfortunately it's Mother's Day tomorrow, so I unfortunately have to I say unfortunately. Just kidding.
Thanks,
Happy
Mum.
Mother's Day to Mum. It's been a big weekend. So
what are you doing with Mum? You taking her out for lunch?
Yeah, I'll brunch, and then we're going out to see my grandma in the afternoon. What about yourself?
I'm taking Mum out for lunch tomorrow, so looking forward to that. Happy Mother's Day, Mum. I'm sure she's watching on from home today.
Yeah.
Happy Mother's Day weekend to all mothers across the Eastern Football Netball League. We're going to wrap things up here. Big thank you to Lee Green and Megan Green on the camera today, doing all the work behind the scenes. It is Balwyn winners over South Belgrave by 9 points in the Eastland Match of the Round.